Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm supposed I could taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My handshake is better than anything I ever saw. It's right here.
You are a one-of-one?
My son's right about
I don't think I've ever said this before.
Okay, sounds good. So we are going live officially. It's been now, 9 hours, folks, since the government shut down. 9 hours. If you didn't know, now you know the government's been shut down. People are losing their minds. Trump's posting memes, smiling at Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer doing his thing that he does. And then yesterday, there was a moment where the president was very concerned. There was a moment where, Bobby Kennedy sneezed behind him. And immediately, because of the extremely aware, paying attention to details, he said, I hope I don't get COVID from you, Bobby. You guys got to see this. This man's a comedian. Vinny is right. He is a comedian.
So funny.
And there's a bunch of other stuff that's going on. So we have to talk about the government shutdown. Netanyahu agreed to a 20-point plan to end war in Gaza. Trump signals former FBI Christopher Wray is being probed by DOJ after Comey indictment. Pete Hegseth starts telling, he's expecting people to be in physical shape. And you got, who's the girl's name from The View? Sonny Rosen.
Sonny Hostin.
Sonny Hostin. Why is it such a big deal to get your people to be in shape? You have to watch this clip to see if it makes any sense to you. And then aside from that, TikTok ByteDance to keep 50% profit. And Trump says TikTok should be tweaked to become 100% MAGA. I think this stuff you're not supposed to say, he keeps saying. TikTok U.S. is worth only $14 billion. I think that was a great discount. In any other part of the world, TikTok would be a $100 billion plus dollar company.
I have a theory.
Somebody got an $86 billion discount. It's a nice discount, and Tom's got a theory, guys, so stick around for the theory. Ilhan Omar doubles down on attacking Charlie Kirk. There is no legacy to honor. I think that's the conversation with Don Lemon, if I am not mistaken.
Yeah, Ilhan? She's walking the streets, man on the street.
That's just phenomenal, those two together. Israel is losing information war. Charlie Kirk's letter to Netanyahu. Tom's got some thoughts on that. There is a poll that shows liberal women are on a crash course with dating hell, the dating hell they created. This data, folks, you have to read this on what it is. The older liberal women get, the more open they are to conservative men. But the older conservative men get, the less open they are to liberal women. And there is science behind it, folks. Because this is a science-driven poll we're talking about from Daily Caller. And then we have Newsom courts big oil as gas prices threaten political ambitions. Rahm Emanuel, weighing presidential bid, navigates a Democratic Party moving left. Voters in major U.S. city view capitalism only slightly more favorably than socialism. And that pisses Tom off. Tom is very angry about that. Very angry about it, but slightly not that angry because Shohei hit a nice home run and the Dodgers won and the Yankees lost yesterday. So Tom came in here doing backflips, celebrating. He's been here since 6 o'clock, putting up signs of Dodger flags everywhere.
There was baseball yesterday? I thought the season ended on Sunday.
Yeah.
Democratic Party hits historic low favorability in new national poll. Tom's got thoughts. Vinny's got thoughts on Hakeem Jeffries and Trump. Charlie Javis gets 7 years for defrauding J.P. Morgan. However, Tom, show me this. I'm not going to tell you what the lawyer said. But what the lawyer said to the judge, you have to see what this lawyer has some audacity to say what he had to say to the judge.
Brass.
As AI threatens white-collar work, more young Americans chase blue-collar careers. We got a young American here to tell us what he's chasing. We'll see what's going to happen with him. Now L.A. is dying as Hollywood businesses say tourism cash has dropped by up to 50% after Las Vegas hit the skids. And then Don Lemon sparks fury with wild rant about white men broken. Folks, if you're white, according to Don Lemon, you're broken. He's trying to fix you. He's trying to fix you. And I don't know
his wife a white? Oh, never mind.
Despite being married to one, is how the story ends. Despite being married to one. And Tom, listen, I've kept these stories just for Tom. Butt lifts in Miami, breast implants in Beverly Hills, plastic surgery by region. Tom wants to get to the bottom of it because there's a business model behind this. And then eventually, God willing, we'll hit that Coldplay story. They need some attention. And then a Novus defense secretary lectures the brass on what it takes to win, Pete Hegseth. HUD displays banner blaming radical left Democrats for government shutdown. Military leaders absorb highly partisan presentation from Trump Hegseth. And then we got a couple other things to get into. Folks, there is a major memo. I think you guys have to see it. I think it's very, very important. Life-changing time. You know how every once in a while you meet a man who gives you life-changing advice, and you have to make note of it. And you just make a note of it. Sheriff Grady from Polk County. We're going to show this video to you. He's teaching people why not to hire prostitutes. And he does it in such a I have the clip, Rob. I mean, he's a legend. If you don't know who he is, this man's a philosopher. He could have been a pastor in a previous life. He could have been a comedian. He could have been playing baseball with Lou Gehrig style comedy that he's got. He's one of one. He's got some advice he wants to share with you guys. I think it's important. We got to go through it. To all the young men that are watching this. And then aside from that, I got a couple other things that I want to read about. Maxine Water, the way she reacts. We found a guy that says the Range Bro clip that we showed last week, he says he debunked it. And we're going to have to show this one clip to you. And he's got some stuff to say about it. Again, the idea with everything that's going on with Charlie Kirk, Vinny called the school yesterday. He called the Utah University yesterday. Talked to 5 people. Eventually got a hold of the director of communication. He's going to probably give the name. Call that person 5 times.
No pickup.
Okay? No pickup to see what's going on there. And so, so he'll give you that perspective. And then I got a story here that I saw this morning, which I love. That says, one bad apple destroys a great team. Yeah, the timing of this story is bad because, but this has nothing to do with that, apple. He's more like a banana. But this apple here that we're talking about is a different story that we're talking about, which we'll get into. And a couple other clips. But by the way, can you imagine you wake up one morning and, because of them trying to censor you when you were running for president, something you have the right to do, Google, YouTube, Twitter, everybody tried to censor you. And then 60 Minutes agrees to pay Trump $16 million for editing Kamala Harris's interview. ABC agrees to pay Trump $15 million in a settlement of a defamation lawsuit. Twitter agrees to pay Trump $10 million for suspending him. And Facebook agrees to pay Trump $25 million for suspending him. And then YouTube just agreed to pay President Trump $24.5 million for suspending his account in 2021. This is the tweet is from who, Rob? Can we read? Danielle DeSouza Gill. I hope I said the last name right, like Benji Gill. So this guy made almost $100 million for just being censored and suspended. And the guy keeps winning. And then Jimmy Fallon comes out saying, look, we're always telling jokes on both sides, Fallon. Always. We're fair. And Colbert, I think, went on Kimmel last night to try to say some stuff. And Kimmel came back and made fun of J.D. Vance, hardcore. So maybe we got to show some of this stuff to kind of see what's going on over there with the viewership, which we will. But before we get into it, I do want to tell you guys, if you want to get all the notes that we get for free, all the notes that we cover, so you have access to everything that we're going to go through, all you have to do is download Manek, go to the PBD Podcast Circle, whether you have an Android or Apple, go to our circle, download it, and get the notes and follow track. And every time there's updates, different things. And if you want to communicate and network with each other, you pay $10 a month and $50 a month allows you to do the whole thing, the whole benefits that comes with it. But for free, you can get the notes of what we're going through here on our podcast. And then next thing before we get into the podcast, guys, this shirt I'm wearing, I wear the white, I wear the blue, I wear the black. When you wear this shirt, you know what it feels like? You ever had somebody you love hugs you and tells you how amazing you are?
With cotton hands?
Let me tell you, I'm not kidding with you. Feel the material real quick. Do you not feel the love?
I felt like Don Lemon for a second.
Yeah, that's not good, buddy.
No, but I'm just.
No one's gonna buy. What would you say?
I felt like it was soft.
No, but let me tell you.
You felt soft.
The quality,
okay, then maybe.
The quality of this thing, I wear. Vitamin shows right here. Rob, can you zoom in to show different features of the shirt? Vitamin logo right here, gold. Future looks bright on the side. VT on the side. And anybody and everybody who's bought this, this is low-key maybe our best item we have on there, quality-wise, low-key. If you're somebody that wears dress shirts, get the white, the black, and the blue. Wear it for a month, 3 times. If you don't like it, I want to call and talk to you. I will literally FaceTime you and say, how can you not like these shirts that you wear them? But you got to order all 3 of them, go put them on, sport them, and leave that button open so people see that Valuetainment logo right there to see who you're representing, especially if you support this brand, if you love what we do here. Go get yourself a polo shirt. Rob, if you can put the link below to the business section, that would be great for people to go place the order here. VT merch. By the way, the black is sick because it's gold on black. Look at that right there. Zoom in a little bit, Rob.
That is dope.
Damn, that's sick. And then what does the white one look like? Rob, can we go to see what the white one looks like? White one looks like? You got the
White and
gold.
gold.
Ooh, that looks so good. Look at that.
That is a dope
Guys,
shirt.
you wear this, and your lady sees you with this. I'm telling you right now, studies have shown 40 weeks later something could happen. It could cost you $350,000 if you wear the shirt. That's what the quality is. The quality's got a lot of special things that's going on. Again, go to vtmerch.com.
That's pretty expensive for the horizontal
Place your
box.
order. And with that being said, can I start off with just a business thing I read before we go into shutting the government
100%.
down? Rob, can you pull up the story I just read? I just really like this. I think every once in a while we got to read stories like this about bad apples. So this is a story I was just reading. Science shows how one toxic person can drag down an entire team, okay? Go to the next slide, Rob, if you could. So University of Washington research study shows that just one persistently negative teammate can derail group success. Major drop. Teams with one bad apple perform far worse than others. Proven impact. Experiments show negativity hurts trust, effort, and outcomes. Contagious toxic behavior spreads quickly inside groups, and worst member, the weakest link often predicts overall team success. So one bad teammate can poison a whole group. Go to the next one. There are 3 types of bad apples. Zoom in a little bit, Rob, on 46, please.
Come on, dude.
How they ruin everything. The jerk. Critical, disrespectful, puts others down. The slacker. Lazy, withholds effort, deadbeat behavior. Damn, that's very hard. The downer, pessimistic, and nothing's gonna ever happen here. Complains, spreads negativity. The result, teams argue, stop sharing, communicate less, right? Negative behavior hits harder than positive and spreads fast. Go to the next one. So now let's go to the top a little bit. Your defense strategy, number 1, recognize the signs. Spot jerks, slackers, and downers early. 2, set boundaries. Limit exposure to negative people. 3, don't try to fix them. You can't unspoil a bad apple, folks. You cannot fix them. Only God can. Choose your team. Surround yourself with positive people. Address it quickly. Don't let negativity spread and take root. Last but not least, guard your energy. Your success depends on who you're around. By the way, 23 years ago, my dad, I had this one guy I loved. I was in first grade together in Iran, junior high school, military together, ballets together, insurance together. Oh my God, this guy was negative. Funny as hell, but negative, okay? It was always negative. He'd always blame, it's this person's fault, it's your fault, it's that person. I was always on negative. And I really wanted to run with this guy for the rest of my life because I love this guy. One day, my dad and I get into the biggest fight. And he says, don't you realize he's not going to work as hard as you? Let him go. This guy's not going to put the effort the way you're putting it. I said, you don't believe people can change. I believe people can change on their own, but I don't believe you can change. So we're having this feud together. We're going back and forth. And I will tell you, long term, you win for believing that people can choose to change. There is more positive in you believing that people can improve than not. However, the affirmation that changed my life in one of the biggest ways that took so much weight off my back was when I finally read this and I added it to my list. Stop trying to be God. That job is already taken. Wow. You can't fix everybody. Only they can fix them with a level of commitment to it. If they don't, sometimes opportunities come up and they screw it up and they think they're bigger than the whole crew and then they take a massive hit. It happens in sports organizations and families and churches and friendships everywhere. And all it takes is one time for you to be a little bit casual, to be like, it's going to be okay. Boom! Oh, shit, I lost that opportunity. You were casual. And you face somebody that doesn't want any of this kind of stuff to be taking place. And it's unfortunate, but that's kind of how life works. So if you're watching as yourself, if you're watching PBD Podcast, you probably are not part of the community that's one of these. What was it back? The jerk or whatever. Can you go back to
the jerk?
You're probably not because the jerk, the slacker, the downer. Yeah, you're probably not.
Debbie Downer.
We would be annoying to watch this. But if you're watching this right now saying, shit, I think I'm a little bit of the jerk or the slacker or the downer. Well, listen, get on your knees and pray, okay? Or find a way to change. Because if you don't, you may lose some of the biggest opportunities in your life, because many times when we're inside the opportunity, we don't know it until we lose it.
Yeah.
And then when you lose it, you're like, oh, shit, what a moron. Why'd I do that? Don't do that, right? Very simple. So anyways, let's get right into it. Folks, I know you've been nervous because the government's been shut down now for 9 hours and 15 minutes. Don't worry. It's going to be okay, but the government's been shut down. No one's working. By the way, apparently 100,000 people are deciding to quit. I don't know if you saw this or not, Rob, if you want to put this up. This is catastrophic news, folks. 100,000 DMV employees are quitting. Not DMV, but just government employees are quitting. Rob, if you want to put that story up, they're out there. They're angry. Over 100,000 federal workers to resign Tuesday amid looming government shutdown. And look at the phones. Look at them running around with the phones, recording with that beautiful pink umbrella while it's not even raining. Isn't that awesome? Think about how rich you have to be to have a pink umbrella while the sky is blue and a camera walking around and you're walking away from your job. How awesome it is. That guy probably doesn't even work at the government. It's just a picture that they took, but a great angle. Nice people walking there. So here's what's going on. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Trump mocks Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries in an AI-generated video after government shutdown meeting. You tell me, when have we ever had a government that would post a meme like this, which, by the way, you have to be honest, Hakeem actually looks good with that mustache. Look closely. And that,
he actually can pull it
sombrero,
off.
right?
No,
he can pull it off. What president do you know that is concerned to entertain you and mock his enemies and be as straight up as this guy here? Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of shit, you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
By the way, this is not a YouTuber that posted this, not a podcaster, not an influencer. This is the president of the United States posted that video.
God.
And people lost their minds.
Did he post the one with the mariachi band?
There's
or was
another
that
one.
somebody
Hold
else?
on. No, did you see that one? He didn't stop. There's another one. Did you see the
Stop
second?
it.
No, it's
Rob,
even better.
I sent you the second one.
There's no way in the world.
Hey, how about this? You're going to laugh even harder because it's Hakeem Jeffries getting pissed off saying, how dare he.
Say it to my face.
Rob, I think I slept.
You did. I got it.
Pat,
Did he create these,
This
or
one's
did
better. No,
somebody
I
else
think somebody
create
makes
them?
them and sends them to
Yeah.
him. This one is even better. This
This is all because the government shut down?
because they're playing that game.
let's
Look,
see this.
ready for this? Watch.
Disgusting video, and we're going to continue to make clear bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican.
He's a troll. He's the ultimate troll.
They don't know what to
my
do with
God.
it.
Oh my
That's it.
God.
They don't know
Well,
what to do with it.
That is the part about being unpredictable. So, Rob, can we give the story about the government shutdown? Let's just kind of go through it right now, what's going on. So,
Because there's a reason for this angle.
Yeah, so J.D. Vance predicted that the government's going to shut down after deadly, serious Democrat demand concessions. We're headed towards a shutdown. Vance says after Trump's meeting with leaders. Is this the clip, Rob? Go ahead and play this clip.
I want to make one final point here. You will hear a lot from Senate Democrats, from House Democrats about the fact that American health care policy is broken. Well, we know that American health care policy is broken. We've been trying to fix it for the 8 months that we've been in office. But every single thing that they accuse about being broken about American health care is policy the Democrats have supported for the past decade. So if they want to talk about how to fix American health care policy, let's do it. The Speaker would love to do it. The Senate Majority Leader would love to do it. Let's work on it together. But let's do it in the context of an open government that's providing essential services to the American people. That's all that we're proposing to do. And the fact that they refuse to do that shows how unreasonable their position is. I think we're headed to a shutdown because the Democrats won't do the right thing. I hope they change their mind, but we're going to see. I'll let the Speaker say a few words.
Okay, so we are here. Not headed to a shutdown. We are shut down for 9 hours and 19 minutes and 42 seconds. Vinny, your thoughts?
Well, let's. This kind of brings me back to when remember the border bill was coming through and they were all losing their mind because the border was wide open. So they proposed the bill and they're like, all right, listen, we'll shut the border down. We'll admit that the border is chaotic and it's unsustainable. But in the bill, there's tens of billions of dollars that have to go to Ukraine. There's billions of dollars that have to go to Israel. There are billions of dollars that have to go to Taiwan. And it's like, no, time out. The bill for the border should go to the border. Okay, and this is the same situation, Pat, because the Democrats want Medicaid. They want money to go to illegals, and the bill, it's over $1.some trillion, and this just again shows you they're willing to shut down and stop going to work because they put illegals healthcare over Americans. Okay, they're rewarding illegals, and I'm actually happy that it's coming to this, because they talk all this nonsense. They're going to blame Trump. They're going to blame this and that. It's all them. They want money for illegals, and guess what? They're going up against a president that's America first, and he's not having it. Plain and simple.
Tom.
There is a bunch of things that came out. Mark Mitchell was posting them all night. There's a bunch of very interesting polling. 67% of Americans, if you give them a list, do you blame Schumer? Do you blame Trump? Do you blame Congress? Guess what? 67% blame Congress. So in other words, Pat, if you take off, if you just put names on it, that goes one way. But if you say Congress and you add Congress as a name, 67% blame Congress for it. And people said that the last shutdown, they don't feel that it hurt their lives. They felt that it was newsworthy and a lot of things going on. But like 80% of Americans said, my life wasn't personally hurt by the shutdown. Now, we're not talking about government employees. We're talking about voters everywhere else, not government. 80% said, well, yeah, there was a shutdown, but it didn't really affect me as far as I can tell.
I'm still working.
It says next. So they blame Congress next. And now more people say they understand uncontrolled spending and our national debt is bad, and it's not just an election year thing, it's bad. They don't know what to do about it, but they understand that it's bad and it hurts the economy long term. Isn't that very interesting? So people will directly blame Trump, they'll directly blame Schumer, but when you step back, America actually said, here's the punchline, if the shutdown gets a change in spending, I'm in favor of it. That is a core American voter.
Here's what Trump had to say, and I'm going to come to you right here. Go ahead, Rob.
We could come up and through this whole thing, because, I don't know, we'll probably have a shutdown, because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare, to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country, and like they do in California. And no country can afford that. No country. And we have the border stopped up. We have it closed. We have nobody for 4 months. Zero people came in. That wasn't me. That's by the authorities, who happen to be liberally oriented. But just think of that. We have people offering health care to people all over the world that they can't afford to pay.
Now watch this. You can pause it right there. Democrats are saying that's not true. That's not what happened. Podcaster and a host goes out there asking a question of Maxine Waters, who seems very happy. She's asking Maxine a question here, and look at Maxine's response. Go ahead.
Aren't Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens? That's right.
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody.
Oh, God.
We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just
you're
asking.
divisive. No, you're not.
Yeah, no,
you're being divisive. No, please.
I'm
You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me.
It's already happening.
We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Appreciate it.
Good work, girl. She did great. Just simple. So, Brandon, what do you think's going on here?
No, it's amazing. Like, we spend $2.4 trillion on healthcare already. Like, what do they want to bring it to? 67% of the budget goes to entitlements. So, like, what's the number they actually think is realistic? Like, are they genuinely trying to bankrupt the country? And, when they say the government shutdown's about healthcare, like, nobody in politics understands healthcare. I could assure you of that. One of the best books about healthcare I ever read was by Marty McCurry, the current head of the FDA. And he just goes on to say that even genuine geniuses that have deeply studied the problems with healthcare can't explain it that well and don't understand it that well. So if this is really about healthcare, it's not going to get resolved anytime soon. But the government shutdown thing is silly, and I think it'll get resolved pretty quickly without serious impact. Like last time, I appreciated when he did it actually to get the border wall done. That was one of his epic all-time moments in his first administration.
So what would be a success? So let's just say the government shutdown to get something out of it. What would you consider this government shutdown leading to a success? Tom, I'm going to come to you as well. Brandon, you first.
Well, that's the problem, I guess, is that it doesn't seem like Trump is asking for anything. It seems like the Democrats are asking to increase the $2.4 trillion in healthcare spending to something else, which I don't like. I think it needs to go down by a lot, if anything. So I don't think they could break on that. I haven't heard Trump ask for anything. So I don't know if it's going to come to a resolution.
Yeah, very interesting. Tom, what would you say?
So here's what's going on, America. And Brandon, back me up here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing called a continuing resolution.
Yes.
And you'll see CR. You'll see in Wall Street Journal, you know, your local, wherever you're getting news, you'll see CR this week. You know, senators, congressmen arguing over a CR. You have AOC telling the Senate, saying, I am ready and you can negotiate with me directly. Until 3 senators said, hey, Chick, you're in the House of Representatives. We're the Senate. So
They said that.
Well, not like that. I said that. But they were like, excuse me, the Senate will negotiate with itself. But she's out there grandstanding. So everybody's grandstanding about CR. What is a CR? The continuing resolution is a bill that says how to keep a resolution to keep the government continuing. But it goes back to exactly what Vinny was talking about. Remember when we covered the Inflation Reduction Act on this podcast?
Yeah.
And we dove inside and we said, wait a minute, circumcisions for Tunisia? Remember that thing?
Yeah.
It was like, and there was things in there, but it goes like this.
What does that mean, though?
Hey, Pat.
Like
money laundering
decisions for Tunisia.
It goes like
we were
this.
giving money
hey, Pat.
for-
Hey,
Yeah.
Pat, I know you're Speaker of the House and I respect you, sir, but you can have my vote, but I got to have the circumcisions in Tunisia. I need $5.5 million. It's going to a foreign aid organization.
Is that really an epidemic going on over there?
No, but that's an example. And then they go to Vinny, and Vinny says, hey, we're building a dam in Minnesota. I need another $40 million for the dam. You got to hide it in here. And then suddenly the continuing resolution is bloated with all this stuff.
But Tom, you sent a clip to Rob. This is something that's important to them, right? The 2019 debate that was taking place. Watch this clip, folks, that Tom sent in to Rob.
Well, this goes to Maxine Waters saying, you're trying to make me say this. They speak for themselves.
That's
right here.
Watch this, folks.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Here we go. Raise your hands, folks.
Look at that. All of them.
All of them. It's unanimous.
And so here's my thing, because as you guys are all talking, and Brandon, you too, you made a good point. Why are the Democrats so loud and so proud and willing to shut down the United States government for illegals? And I thought of Brandon, am I right or am I wrong? It's for votes and it's for power, because if you promise them health care, then you're creating like this long-term dependency. So these people that are coming over for the future voting base, because think about it, Tom Homan said there's almost 20 million of them here. I think Trump said that they deported 2 million. Okay, good for you. But that's still 18 million people that are here, and you incentivize them to stay here. And then guess what? We're the party that's gonna give you free health care. Vote for us, because I mean, why else do Democrats care? They don't give a damn. If you guys think Democrats care about your well-being, you're wrong. And look at what this open border that they have all these illegals here that they want to pay for. How many jobs have Americans lost? How many crimes have been committed towards Americans? How many sexual assaults? I don't want to say the R word, but how much stuff has to happen to prove to Democrat voters they don't care about you? They care about the votes and they care about their power, and that's it. They don't
Vinny,
care.
you hit a great point.
Go for it.
Fast side point. If Kamala wins the election, are they pushing this hard for the healthcare right now?
Of course not.
Right, but they lost the election and they're looking for more
votes.
voters.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so watch this, folks. As we're going through this, there's a story that comes out that says, where's the story here? Democratic Party hits historic low favorability in a new national poll. Here's another one. They had one a month and a half ago. There's another one that comes out. If you guys want to go to this on page 15, let me go to it here. I thought I had it. Page I have 16, but let me see where 15 is. Do you have it? If you just give it to me, I'll read it. Oh, I have it right here, 15. I was just looking at the date. That's at 10-1. Okay, here we go. So, Democratic Party hits the lows. It sounds, in what sounds like a broken record, the Democratic Party hits another historic low national poll this week. 30% of voters nationwide questioned in Quinnipiac University survey said that they have a favorable opinion of Democratic Party. Let me say that one more time to you folks. 30%. 30%. 30%. And 54% said they hold an unfavorable opinion. This is the lowest favorability rating for Democratic Party since the Quinnipiac poll began asking voters this question in 08, which means it's never been any lower. The survey's release noted the Quinnipiac survey was the latest poll this year that shows this, and obviously there's a lot of this stuff going on. So, Tom, as they're going through this, don't you think, and maybe Brandon, I'll come to you, don't you think as they're going through this that they have to sit there and realize this is real numbers? You can't just go up there and keep playing this game. People are not liking it. People are not happy about this. People want to go back to common sense. And the more conservatives and Republicans go to common sense, the more they feel they have to do complete opposite. And they're thinking like, this is our way of winning the vote because we have to go against the grain.
Yeah.
And favorability goes lower and lower and lower. What do you think's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad when you have to find an entire new voting base because your country distrusts you so much. Like, if they just, you know,
It's right. It's
like
true.
if they just acted like normal people, then they'd be fine. I mean, most people who are Republicans right now used to be Democrats at one point in time. Like a lot of people in my family, a lot of my friends used to be Democrats because Democrats used to be the normal people, but they won't let a normal person get through the gatekeepers in their party. Like they've destroyed anybody who's been a threat to the establishment people, like Bernie Sanders, and even you know, when Stephen A. Smith starts acting like he might run for president in a couple of years, they went on attack mode against him right away. So they're doing it to themselves. And, you know, saying free healthcare is like saying the war on terror or the war on drugs. It's like this open-ended, impossible thing that sounds good but isn't feasible. Like, how about reform the healthcare system instead of just blanketly saying free healthcare? So, yeah, I think that they need to let a normal person get through the gatekeepers to begin with.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Brandon, how old are you?
30.
Just turned 30. Okay.
30.
So 30 years old.
It was a great party, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 30 years old. So the question is, where do you see, like, if they hire you as a consultant, you're a younger guy, you read everything and anything that's on politics, go through the material that's out there. What are 2 or 3 areas that you think Democrats could go attack? Think about blue ocean strategy to say, if they went here, they can get some common sense people to join them. Where would it be?
Okay, easy. Both parties should do this. The cost of living, number one. So the immigration affects this too. The cost of a house went from, I think, $350,000 on average to $475,000 over the last 6 years, like post-COVID, after printing all the money. So, you know, we used to build 500,000 houses a year in the 70s. Now it's like 50,000 houses a year. So they're massive.
From 500,000 in the 70s to 50,000 today.
Yeah. So they don't make it conducive or easy at all for home builders to build homes profitably. You know, like my grandfather was a home builder. He said it was very profitable back in the day, but today it's not even worthwhile to try to build a starter-sized home. So I think that's number one.
So that's one. I like that. What's your 2?
For people. And then just simply reforming the healthcare system, like maybe giving government grants to provide more doctors, because it's actually very hard to become a doctor or a PA. Like they have a limited amount of doctors they take in their programs. Like really qualified people don't get into the programs a lot of the time. So investing into things that there are shortages in, like there's shortages in doctors, there's shortages in houses. So like addressing market side pain points instead of just saying like, oh, let's throw money at it.
Okay, give me a third one. So I got the first one. I got the second one. What's the third one?
How about not being so inclined to go to war? You know, because both parties that seems to be a really bipartisan thing, is to, you know, just get into other people's business and assist in wars across the country or across the world that we have nothing to do with.
So how do you do that? How do you do the last one?
The last one, I would say, just stop giving money to Ukraine. Say, Ukraine, hey, I'm sorry, it's, you know, unfortunate that you lost some land, but we're gonna have to give some land to Russia because that's the only way around this.
What if you can get some minerals in return for us to be protected long term, because they have a lot of good things that they're offering that U.S. has to, kind of like what the deal he just did on the lithium deal, that the president went in and they bought into it, 10% to say, hey, we're going to have this problem in the future. We may as well protect ourselves. I think it was a Canadian company, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Canadian was in there, and General Motors.
Right.
Yep.
So you know,
North
somebody
America.
may say to you, well, you know, we kind of need that deal because Ukraine has some of the best resources in the world.
But we didn't need that deal before this war was happening, and I don't think Ukraine's the only place in the world where we could get those minerals. And in order to get that deal and to end this war, like, so I don't see a way in which they could get that territory back without losing much more than we gain with the mineral deal. You know, Russia has those minerals. I think a lot of countries in that area, even Canada, has a lot of the minerals. Canada has like all the minerals we could ever imagine that we would need, most of which Ukraine has. So I think the minerals thing is just something that sounds good.
Great. So you just have it. Tom, what would you say?
Well, I agree with him because Where in that poll that we were just talking about, the Quinnipiac poll that led to your question, the Republicans have made gains among Black, Hispanic, and younger voters. And that's it. It wasn't more middle-class people. It wasn't more old people. Those blocks were there. It was shifts among Black, Hispanic, and younger voters that led to the Republicans under Donald Trump winning a little bit more of every county, and we saw the red map. That's why the younger voters, what did they do? They went after social media. They want to, can we censor the Republicans on social media where the younger voters are, and then we can convince the younger voters of this. And now they go the other way, voting block. Where's the next voting block? All the undocumented. I don't care where you came from. Let's give them something. We will be the generous one. Hey, you just got here. You're in trouble. You're sick. You know, we will be the generous one. It's all about manipulating the voting block. And I think the first two things you said for the younger voters, the cost of living and healthcare, I happen to agree with that. When you take a look, if you go to get a job, you really need to get healthcare coverage. And young people will tell you that they look for the jobs where the benefit is like for one healthcare. A lot of times you get one person covered, just you, or you only have to pay a small amount, and now you have good healthcare. You break your leg, you don't have to go to wait in line at some low rent HMO or deal with Medicaid. You can actually go and get a good doctor and get good care. So healthcare is big, and then cost of living. We need more building, and we need more starter homes, and we need starter homes. And by the way, we need jobs in cities. We need jobs to return to cities, and we need like condos and townhouses, homes that young people could afford in safe cities where there are jobs. The whole thing would work if you get one hand washing another on that. But he hit the nail on the head on cost of living.
And Pat, can I just ask one question? Like, 'cause I'm just taking a step back, and you guys all make great points. It's obvious with the numbers, and the numbers are freaking screaming through the roof. Democrats are there. It's gone. The support is gone. Everything is gone. I don't see them shifting. Does anybody see them changing gears, Pat, anytime soon? So, and we all know that they could play dirty. Think of it in that sense. What are they going to do? What can they do? Because they know the ship is beyond sinking, Pat. They're done. Everybody, Hispanics, everybody is jumping ship. What is their other option, Brandon? What else?
If they just gave up,
take it.
But Tom, they don't just take it. Look at the history of what we're just seeing, and the stories are going to come. January 6th, Russia. These people don't play. They're not finished. Don't think that they're done.
Voting doesn't work. Rig the voting and just take it, and then shift to a socialist Marxist. That's the globalist agenda.
They will adjust. No, I'm going to a different place. Let me tell you, Vinny. This goes back to 3 years ago when Trump lost. It was 4 years ago, but 3 years ago when we're in it.
Yeah.
Everybody is like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. You know, when we're in COVID and we're getting strikes and all this stuff is happening, and my guys are like, Pat, what do? We got to be creating. And I'm talking to a bunch of the guys. Like, I'm back in the days, there was a guy named Brian Rose who did a podcast one time, and he had 65,000 live watching him concurrent. And everybody's like, oh my God, look how many people he's got watching. He had all these guys that were doing, like, this is in 2000. You know, you would see Meet Kevin doing great things with podcasts, and he was doing a great job every day talking about the next stimulus package, and he was one of the best guys doing it. Graham Stephan was on. All these guys that were doing stuff and giving their message. And you're like, hey, what's going to happen? Who's going to stay up? How long are they going to be able to do this? And I kept saying, let me tell you one thing about common sense, man. Sometimes common sense takes a minute, but it's undefeated.
Yeah.
Vinny, common sense is truly undefeated. It is. And eventually, anybody that's manipulative, deceptive, dark, you're eventually going to get exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, probably you could have gotten away with it 100 years ago. Maybe you could have gotten away with it 60 years ago. An assassination attempt happens, you could get away with it because there was only one camera.
Yeah.
This is the worst time.
Yeah.
This is the worst time. Because a podcaster can be saying something, and next thing you know, 5 people can send an anonymous email to you giving you intel on what happened with the FBI, what happened with CIA, what happened with certain things, blowing the whistle in an indirect way with an anonymous email, giving you all the intel, and no one's going to know. That happens today. Didn't happen 50 years ago. Didn't happen 60 years ago. This is a time that I think Democrats are going to adjust. I just don't know who that person's going to be that's going to come and have that conversation with them. Of course, you're seeing a mass exodus of people that are leaving. Their arguments suck right now. Truly, their arguments and their ideas suck. Let me read this article to you that has nothing to do with politics, but it has to do with bad ideas. So this article here says, poll shows liberal women are on a crash course with the dating hell they created. What do you mean crash course? Rob, if you want to pull up the story here. So is there a glimmer of hope for bitter, single liberal women? A new study shows from the Institute for Governance and Civics at Florida State University, which knows a lot about this because they party hardcore. If you know people from Florida State University, they typically get stuck in traffic a lot, showed that, yes, there might be hope, yet for single liberals who hate conservatives so much that they would never be willing to date one. Let me read this again to you. There might be hope yet for single liberals who hate conservatives so much that they would never be willing to date one. But this study found that generally as liberal women age and gravity takes over, they become more, the article doesn't say that. They become more open to dating a conservative man.
Weird.
However, their openness with age might all be for nothing. According to the study, as conservative men get older, they actually become less open to dating a liberal. The result of the study are not definitive by any stretch of the imagination, though there is a certain kernel of truth to it. There are plenty of young men in the world who might not be full-on MAGA, diehard, but hold conservative beliefs. They are not so far right as to be unwilling to date a liberal, right? You just went somewhere.
Oh, my brain
stay with me. I have a question already for you. That's where I'm going with this. They may have voted for Trump, but they are fairly open-minded. Young liberal women, on the other hand, would outright reject this person as potential romantic or life partner. It doesn't matter if he voted for Trump but disagrees with the president's tariffs or deportation policy. There is no nuance for liberal women. They are completely intolerant. And it's this intolerance that leads to conservative men becoming more closed off in older age. Again, this is a Daily Caller story. How many conservative men have seen their relationships blow up because of politics? How many have been rejected just because they think abortion should be reserved for extreme cases like incest or dire medical emergency? I'd bet a fair share. So, Vinny, I got a question for you. You and I are the same age, okay? But let's go to the 28-year-old Vinny.
Yep.
Would the 28-year-old Vinny consider marrying a hot 24-year-old liberal AOC voting socialist?
28?
28.
If I wasn't into politics?
You're not into politics.
Of course.
You would have married her.
Of course.
Would you have even thought about it?
No.
She's hot.
I wouldn't even thought, hot. I wouldn't.
Brandon, you're 30.
Yeah.
That girl that did a commercial for us, whom you introduced to us, right?
Yeah.
If she was a hardcore liberal, okay, she's dropped dead gorgeous. You'll like her. She's attractive. You're probably going to share this with her. He won't stop talking. You ought to go on a date with him already.
If they haven't already.
By the way, if she's a hardcore liberal, AOC, armpits, the whole nine, but she's dropped dead gorgeous, would you marry her?
No.
Why not? Why wouldn't you marry her?
Oh, they'll ruin your life.
What do you mean by that?
Because they're just nasty. Like
she's gorgeous, though.
I know, but it's like a trap.
Brandon, be careful. She's hot.
But the problem is with them is that they want to control the relationship. They want to control the dynamic, and they just have like this nasty.
You don't think as a man you can impose your, masculine side and raise the kids the way you want?
No, they'd call that toxic masculinity.
They would?
Yes.
So even if she's gorgeous, hot, dropped it, you walk in a mall, everybody's having, necks just breaking because they're checking out your girl. You don't care. You wouldn't marry her if she was a liberal.
Marry, no. I might get tricked initially, but marry, no. That'd ruin your life. You always say you could make the wrong decision with who you marry and it could ruin your life.
It's so true, though.
Mind you, if I was meaning 28 and like his age and like involved with politics the way that, absolutely not, because the values aren't there. The child upbringing is not there. The letting them be whatever they want, trans. I'm not with that. And then Pat, and I understand that there are Democrat Christians. I'm not stupid, but do they really give in to God? Are they really going to raise the family?
What if she's a challenge?
What do you mean a challenge?
Like you like a challenge. You're like, I think I can convert her.
I don't.
You guys are laying in bed and you kind of drop a MAGA hat next to her. You like give her like a pink, lingerie with MAGA sticker on the back of it.
Man.
I just bought it from Victoria's Secret. You drop it, she's wearing it. She has no clue. There's a sticker on the back that says MAGA. And he said, "Babe, you look so good. Turn on. Let me take a picture of you. Look at the.
And then
what is that you put on?
You've got the Home of the Patriot missile boxer shorts.
And then break up.
But
sex.
you wouldn't do it. You're not going to do it.
I can't do it because I already know long run. Like it's not worth the effort to try to fix her to get on the journey that we're
So
going.
you know what's happening with them?
Yeah.
Because the looks, go so quickly, right?
Of course.
Guys, I got kicked in my hand by my son in the pool 3 months ago. Let me tell you, it's still there. I would have recovered within 24 hours.
Oh, easy money.
It's
Quick.
still there if I was in my 20s, right?
Yep.
It's a very different life. I went to the doctor yesterday. I gave enough blood to, share with a small little village in Africa. Literally, I gave so much blood. I'm like going like this. I'm like, no, there's only like 8 more left. And she keeps taking blood. And I'm just watching the blood squirting into this thing. I'm like, how much more blood do you need from me?
Yeah.
Like, am I getting paid to give you all this blood? No, we just kind of need to test your whatever stuff. And I'm 46. So the doctor's like, look, you're kind of that age. I said, I'm thinking I'm going to do it at 50. Well, the doctor's saying you got to do it at 45. I said, I can take some time. No, you kind of got to do it.
Now or never.
I said, you want me to really do it? Yeah, you got to do it. I said, dude, I don't want to do it. It's a little bit awkward. You know what I'm talking
I know
about.
exactly.
So, I know you just did it a few months ago.
It was
like the greatest day of your life. You were coming in here celebrating, excited. You felt lighter, happier.
The doctor was very happy.
Okay.
Yeah. The doctor was like, yes.
So, but go into it.
I got it all.
Think about this, Tom. Think about this. Think about just that look right there, right?
Ugh.
Go a little bit lower. Go a little bit lower. They don't want to have kids. They don't want to get married.
They're angry.
They hate man.
Yep.
They're angry. But do you think they were born this way?
No. Pat, I think the system did because those women, look at this group and look at the epidemic that's happening.
right.
They're not having kids. And what's the globalist Brandon idea is less people. There's too many. You've heard it from Bill Gates and them. What's the biggest problem? There's too many human beings. They've said these words. Who was the prince, the Duke of...
Machiavelli?
No, the guy the guy from England that died. He was a prince, I believe, of York. When they said, he goes, you know what? If I die, I would love to come back as a virus just to kill as many people as I can. This is a royal family member. It's too many people, Pat, and that's what this is, a whole huge generation of women that are like, I don't need men. I'm independent. All I need is my dog and my cat. Prince Philip. He said, if I reincarnated, I'd come back as a deadly virus to solve overpopulation. So
he looks like a total sweetheart.
He looks great. He looks
Zoom in
great.
a little bit. He looks like somebody.
Tell me that guy. If you want to talk about, look at that.
He's like a Bond villain.
He died. He's dead, if I'm correct.
Is he dead, Bob?
Oh, he was dead
Pat,
there.
he
Just no one
he
had
looks
the
like
guts
he
to
looks
tell
like a
him.
White Walker from Game of Thrones. But my point is, Pat, I go on a bigger umbrella. This is a mission complete. Because look at how many women right now are like, no, I don't need a man. I don't need nothing. I'm independent. But then once it gets to a certain age, it's like, oh my God, looking back, I was fooled. It's like the people that bought the Russia collusion, bought the Trump as Hitler. It's like now it's too late.
Yeah, but that's the part. So where I'm going with this, Tom, and I'll come to you to wrap this one up, unless if you have anything else to say. So where I'm going with this is the following. If your bad policies destroy people's lives and they eventually figure it out, there is nothing worse than, for example, okay, you guys are going to hear, I'm going to make an announcement here probably next week. I have been wearing this same exact shoe for the last 2 weeks. I'm not even kidding. I've been wearing this same exact shoe every day the last 2 weeks, okay? The same shoe every day for the last 2 weeks.
With 3-piece suits and everything.
And I'm wearing a suit right now. I'm about to go to Vegas. With everything I'm wearing, I wear the shoe, right? Do you know what's worse than when you come out with a product and people don't like it? What do they do when they don't like the product? When you go to a store, no, worse than bashing. Yeah, we'll come back to this. Rob will show it. So, but when you go back to it, you buy a product. What's the worst thing you want to happen with your product when you come out with a product?
Like you as a product maker?
Say you came out with a product.
Oh, reviews, people trashing it.
What's worse than reviews?
No sales.
What's worse than sales?
Like something wrong with
returns.
People not wanting it.
Hey, man, I want a refund.
Yes.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I want a refund.
Yep.
We're at the Vault Conference. Vault ends. 4-day magical event. Do you know how many tickets we sold to next year's Vault Conference? 4,100 plus tickets to next year's ball
for
conference.
1 year from
1 year from that, that's going to be at the MGM Grand Arena.
Holy moly!
I mean, people come. I just came as a general 4 years ago. Then I bought an executive. Then I bought 5 of my guys. Then I bought a CEO ticket and came with 28 of my employees. What?
I'm bringing my team next time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most beautiful thing. But here's the bad thing about bad products is you're seeing so many people asking for refunds of Democratic policies as they age. They're coming back and saying, I want a refund. You destroyed my life. I was a hot 23-year-old girl. You convinced me to go around, and who cares? My body count doesn't count. I went through 68 guys. Jeez. I did all this stuff, and now no man wants to marry me, and everybody wants to know what my body count is. And I'm a Christian woman now, and I want to tell them the truth, but at the same time, when I do, they run. What should I do? What should I do? The only thing I can do is settle for this guy and settle for that guy. What do I do now, right? Because somebody bottom that sold them that these ideas are okay to buy into. So to me, I do think eventually they have to figure it out because, Vinny, if they don't, it's going to be a shellacking for 20 years.
I think so.
It's going to be a shellacking for 20 years. I really mean it. It's going to be bad for 20 years. Tom, your thoughts on this story here?
Well, I'll give you a personal experience I had. I was redoing my kitchen on a house I had. I was single. I hadn't met Kim yet. I would meet Kim like 5 years later.
Maybe not an appropriate story.
No.
Now you're gonna go
But
there.
the contractor, his kind of a foreman, was a forewoman. She went out, checked on the guys and everything.
She was?
Yeah, she was like 40 years old.
I'm telling you, don't do this story.
No.
I know
Hang
how
on.
the story goes.
I didn't date her, but I noticed the way she talked to she was very attractive, and she was out there every day, coming by the house, making sure that the cabinet makers were on time, all this. She was a good foreman for the owner of the construction company. And one day the owner of the construction company says, hey, remember, she's coming to my house. Yeah. She sees the Ferrari I'm restoring with 1 million parts in the garage, right? She sees where I'm living. She sees that I'm single. And I believe she was 40. I was less than that. I was like 34 at the time. Mm-hmm. And the guy says to me, Pat, he says, hey, she's not dating anybody. And I said, no, I think she thinks, and I remember the words, says, she thinks you're interesting. And I said, yeah, that's very nice of you. Because I just was trying to be nice about I'm not interested. Because I thought she seemed, here comes the word, bitter. The way she would talk to the guys on the job site, and then I would see her out, and then talk on her phone, she just came across to me as like a bitter person.
She wanted the biz doc.
So guess what? No.
She wanted the biz doc.
So I look back at this, and I just was polite. I said, no, thanks. And because I said no,
tell the real story.
She was then like super nice.
You told me a different version.
She's
of how
trying
the story
even
went.
to be more nice.
Was she wearing a tool belt?
No, like.
Was she wearing a tool belt, Tom?
My mind's telling me no.
No.
My
The point is, I saw it, and I feel that she was bitter, and she was reaching out. She tells her
you're telling the full story.
No, I had nothing to do with her.
She reached out, and then
Tom, I had nothing to do, and she was super. From then on, she was even nicer.
I will
to
tell
me.
you a similar story.
Because I said no.
I will tell you a similar.
You guys
story.
are teasing me. I'm saying I saw it.
I just don't want the whole story too, because you told me the story how it went, and she upstairs she built this thing.
Because I don't want to get into the.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, if you get it, no, there was no other story to it, but the survey is right.
Yeah.
If I had said, yeah, maybe let's go out, grab hamburger, just have a casual lunch or something.
Can you run a poll?
10 minutes into
run
it.
A poll.
You know what happened, Vinny? 10 minutes into it.
Run a poll, and I want this to be the poll. How many of you think Tom hooked up with her? Yes or no? Run this poll. Well, let's see what the audience thinks.
We can see what they think.
Let's see what the audience thinks.
Because you know what's going to happen.
Just if you're going to tell them you were
Brandon,
Playboy
you know what's
28 years ago.
5 minutes after you're at lunch, it's going to be, how do you feel about abortion? I'm going to say, do you think abortion is okay in extreme cases?
Did you run it?
What do you mean, like rape, incest, or Chuck Schumer? What do you believe?
Okay, people are voting, Tom. They don't believe
Oh,
you.
wow.
1,070,
68%. These dirty people listen to the podcast. 2/3.
Oh, come on, Bizdoc Army. I didn't.
Yeah, Tom,
I'm telling you, I saw it, though. I was looking.
as a Playboy.
Words talk, Tom.
You probably
Numbers
went
are
up and you
screaming.
said something to her.
No, she looked bitter.
But let me tell you.
And I was like, not interested.
Tom,
and now
at this
I
point,
see
it's
the
3,000
survey.
votes. She's about to get into the message right now, and she's going to
coming.
she's going to get a membership and comment. By the way, if you're out there listening to this, the lady foreman who was kind of bitter many years ago, you had a chance to get the biz doc, and you didn't. You had a chance. And if you're there watching this, you can connect Tom. It's been many years, and maybe connect us and give us some intel.
I got the biz doc, babe.
But let me tell you the story. Let me tell you, obviously, we're having a lot of fun here. We're having a lot of fun here, and I will tell you, true story. I'm 28. I've already made a decision to get married. I want a wife, and I'm talking to 4 girls. And all the 4 girls, I'm seeing who's going to be my wife, who's not. One of the girls I really like, and her and I have spent a lot of time together. Since I was probably 24, 25, we just enjoyed each other's company. Persian girl. And she was really cool. I looked past the fact that I took her to a Billy Graham event that took place in Pasadena in 2003. It was a November event. Rob, can you pull up to fact check my numbers? Did Billy Graham speak in Pasadena in 2003?
Like 3 nights
November?
at the Rose Bowl.
4 nights at Rose Bowl. Type in Rose Bowl. I want to know if it's 2003 or 2004. I went 3 out of the 4. 2004? What was it? 2004. Okay, I took her there. So it was 2004. I took her there, and I took a bunch of guys there, and Billy just crushed it. And I'm trying to see what she's going to be doing. And then fast forward, the day before, it's got to be like a week before Jen and I start dating. I'm single, and we're at a bar in Pasadena, Opass. And she is telling me, Pat, please be honest with me. Do you want to be with me? Because I love you. I want to be with you. But you're going to break my heart if we get together and you leave me. I will be destroyed. Please don't do that to me. And she's crying, telling me this at the bar at 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I truly enjoy this girl's company. Nothing's happened with Jen. Jen and I are not on a date. This is a week before Jen and I start dating. And I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of going through it. I'm like, dude, politically, you're a hardcore John Kerry person. Oh. You're UNICEF. This person, she hated Republicans. And I'm not even a political person at this time. Mm-hmm. I'm just a 28-year-old guy that's just making money. I'm not even talking politics. I'm just trying to do my thing. But I had to, in that moment, say, she says, only pursue me if you know you're going to marry me one day, please. And I said, I know I can't marry you one day. So I can't do this. And I walked away. And she's in tears crying, but says, thank you. We hugged. It's the last time I ever spoke to her.
Wow.
I was 28 years old. So then this lady foreman showed up, okay?
And you hooked up with her on the way home. And 20 years later, we meet each other, and we say, the foreman?
The foreman? To the bar, and she said, hey, listen, I was working for this one fellow, call him a biz doc, and he never introduced me to his biz doc, and I will meet you. I don't even want to marry you.
He's talking about his Ferrari
I'm singing like, she's playing the other song, Jagged Edge, Let's Get Married. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to get married. I just want to
oh, man.
But anyway, so that true story, simply because the kids would be confused when it comes down to the values and principles I want to share. Marriage is already hard enough. When politically you're on opposite sides, it is so challenging. A Christian can marry a Catholic. A Christian can marry a Jew. But they're on the same side politically. They have a higher chance of making it than a Christian marrying a Christian where one's a socialist and one's a Republican.
Yeah, no.
Policies and ideas got to be on the same page. Whew. And anyways, John Kerry, it was all your fault, just so you know that. But what an incredible foreman she was. I mean, you got Tom's respect.
Love her. Where's the
all right, let's
pole
get to the next story here. Let's get to the next story. Pete Hegseth wants you to get in shape, folks. And he's like sick of it, okay? No more, eating cheesecake 6 nights a week and putting on weight, and you can only run a 2 mile in 17 minutes and 58 seconds. He wants you to get in shape. And some people don't like that. Some people want their military veterans to be little fatties going out there to war that get tired after jogging for 2 minutes, like the people at The View. But Pete wants you to be in shape. Pete wants you to do pull-ups, push-ups, get back into masculine soldiers that we have. And this is a speech that he gave, and some people are not happy about this. Go ahead, Rob.
It's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops.
Body
Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon.
Ooh, fat generals!
Leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad
called
look.
a fat general.
It is bad.
Damn.
It's not who we are.
Okay, so listen, that's fat shaming to some people, right? He continues. Rob, is this another one?
Yeah, I have a bunch of clips. This is him talking about him not wanting his sons to fight with overweight troops. Yeah.
He doesn't want that. Go ahead, Rob.
Serving alongside troops who are out of shape, or in combat unit with females who can't meet the same combat arms physical standards as men, or troops who are not fully proficient on their assigned weapons, platform, or task, or under a leader who was the first but not the best. Standards must be uniform, gender neutral, and high.
Okay, so he's saying this now. Sunny Hostin, Rob, if you can find out from The View, she finds it slightly, inappropriate. Well, why would we want to do this? What's wrong with having fat people in the military? Go ahead, Rob.
Really befuddled by why
Fully
why
befuddled.
they did
Yeah.
that. The optics were terrible.
Yeah.
Meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
Maybe he's referring to Colonel Sanders.
It was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African-American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti. I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together and then denigrating them.
But did you look at it? They're looking at him like he has two heads.
Well, they
Okay, Vinny,
Okay,
thoughts?
well, first of all, I absolutely love what he did. By the way, the military, for everybody that knows out there, it's not a fashion show. It's not a freaking summer camp. We are in the business of war, and war is having trained killers to go and fight the enemy. Okay, and we have to be war ready at every single moment. Okay, look, by the way, have you seen videos of China and Russia, Brandon?
Yep.
Those people do not play games. Over here, like the last 4 years, when Biden was in, I was watching more transgender TikTok videos of guys like, yes, on aircraft carriers and all that stuff. It's like, guys, that's not what we need. And this is the prime example of DEI will have you DIE. Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry, because even, did you notice the View's audience? Not a laugh, not an applause, not nothing. I want my soldiers
Why
to
do
be
you think that is?
Because they're not stupid, Pat.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, remember Jack Nicholson in Few Good Men?
Yeah.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. That's who you need. You need a soldier like that, like Pete Hegseth, Pat, that's like, listen, with all the stuff that's happening inside of America, we could argue, we could fight, gays this, bathrooms, all that, whatever. When it comes to war and protecting the country, you need a leader like that. You need trained killers to go out there and fight for us when it comes down to it. Thank God we haven't had anything crazy since 9/11 Iraq and all that stuff.
Yep.
But Pat, that's the attitude. And I'm sorry, those generals, get your ass in shape. He's only having how many PT tests a year did you have, Pat? I had one. We had one, and we had to take care of ourselves. And if he's taking care of himself and he's a Secretary of War, all those other guys need to follow suit.
Tell people what a PT test is. A lot of people don't know.
It's push-ups, sit-ups, and a 2-mile run, and pull-ups. Okay, and you have to do it within a specific amount of time and reps. Because guys, at the end of the day, if God forbid crap hits the fan, we're going to war. You don't want some overweight guys or some people that are like, my feelings, I'm trans.
You know what the thing with Sunny Hostin, right?
Yeah.
Am I saying her last name correctly?
Hostin,
Okay.
yeah.
Would you say she's pretty?
I think she's a good-looking girl.
I think she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think, let's just say it. I'm not going to, if you pull up her pictures, I think she's beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, Sunny, do you think you get the job that you have if you were 80 pounds heavier? Why not? Do you think you get the job that you have if you were 80 pounds heavier?
Well, they give it to
Do you
Whoopi.
think, but Whoopi's actually a lot older, but Whoopi's a very, 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 very famous individual, an actress. She's made it, okay?
Yeah.
But do you think Sunny gets the job if she's not that attractive?
No.
Do you think Sunny woke up one day and looked like that? How hard do you think Sunny works out?
Oh,
how hard do you think Sonny goes to the gym and the way she takes care of her body?
She talks about it on
sorry,
the show.
Sonny. How hard is it to look like you? So why shouldn't we have that expectation of them? Why are you playing a victim for these other guys and feeling sorry for them? How much does Sonny make per year? Can you type on how much Sonny makes per year? What does Sonny make per year? What's her salary?
I'm going to guess
don't know
$6
what
million, let's say.
I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, $5 million. Guess what? She deserves it because she takes care of her body. Now, do I agree with her politics and all this other stuff? No. Even a guy that doesn't agree with your politics respects the hell out of you working out. And by the way, guess what's never going to happen? Oh, shit, we're under war. Is Sonny Hudson ready to go to war? They don't care if you're going to go to war or not. But we do with the folks in the military.
Bingo.
And let me tell you, I saw a lot of generals when I was in the military that were out of shape. My colonel, Lieutenant Colonel Peacocks, was in top shape. He's a general now. In top shape. You respected the hell out of that guy. It was nothing like chasing a man that was 20 years older than you that was running 13 miles, a minute, 2 miles. You're like, dude. That's why they had the moral authority to punk you a little bit. Hey, this old man's whooping your ass. Don't let this old man, your left, your right, hey, get your. It was such a great thing to see somebody doing that. So even for Sonny, when you're going out there playing this political bullshit that you're playing, you still work your ass off to look like the way you do. They need to work their ass off to make sure we're protected. I don't see any problems with that they need to be doing that. I'm so glad Hegseth is doing this. There's another clip I want to play before I come to Tom and Brandon. Rob, if you want to play the other clip by Pete Hegseth, and then Tom, I'm coming to you. I think this is the one. Go for it.
No more identity months, DEI offices, dudes in dresses.
Good.
Bingo.
No more climate change worship.
Let's go.
No more division, distraction, or gender delusions.
Good.
No more debris.
Good.
As I've said before, and will say again, we are done with that shit.
Nice.
And by the way, that's exactly how I view the leader of the military to speak.
Period.
Like that.
Yep.
Thank you.
You want to see him speak like that. You go back and think about in the history books where Ulysses S. Grant or some of these guys that maybe would have drank or partied on, but when it came down to war and Lincoln needed somebody to get the job done, it wasn't McClellan that got the job done. It wasn't a lot of other guys. It was Grant, who was a little bit rough around the edges, that was able to go out there and talk to the troops, and they respected the hell out of him, and he got the job done. And to me, I'm getting the vibe that he's doing this. And by the way, good for him, because at first, I was a little bit like, you're going to go from TV to this? But I'm loving the way he is going about this, the way he's driving the initiatives for our military. I prefer this. Tom, your thoughts on this?
Well, common sense is making a comeback, because you know what? A poll of American people yesterday, 2-1 believe women should be allowed in combat roles. 2-1. However, there's a comma, and 77% felt they must meet the physical requirements of the job. So 2-1 says if your daughter wants to go off in the Army and wants to be a Green Beret, okay. But 77% said she better measure up to the requirement.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
And it's lead by example.
And there it is. Yeah. Upside down, only 25% think women should have lower physical requirements. That means 75%, I read 77, think that they have to meet the requirements.
Yeah.
Common sense is making a comeback.
Yeah, and and you nailed it. Look at him. Look how much shape he's in. You have to lead by example. You can't be even a full bird colonel going, hey, here's the standards that the Secretary of War passed on from me to you, but you're out of shape. Yeah. Nah, bro. But like other countries have to look at us guys and be fearful. You know what I mean? During Biden, bro, let me explain something to you. They were laughing at us. And now it's serious business.
Pat, you used to share a story I love. You said there was an older, I don't know if he was a drill sergeant or a colonel or somebody, that three of you needed an attitude adjustment, and he took you out to the back corner.
He put us
what
in our
happened
place.
there? And he was older than you.
Of course he was. He was 20 or 15 years older than us. So he took us to the back, and we were acting like we're gangsters and tough. And he says, oh, really? You guys are gangsters. You're tough. No problem. He gets in the Humvee. We go to the back and takes his rank off and says, okay, who wants to go first? And we're like, Joe. He wasn't a big guy. He was a 5'8" guy. 5'8" and 5'8", 5'9" guy. And we're big boys. And he says, who wants to go for like, Joe, sorry, we don't want to hurt you. No, I won't tell anybody.
You're like, I'm good.
He was one of those guys that was a black guy that talked so slow.
Oh, God, that's scary.
Private Bet David. Yeah. I need you to drop and give me 20 right now. He spoke like that. Everybody else would scream. This guy would speak to you calm, like
You're
dead.
It's even scarier.
You're dead. And he was so smart about the way he beat us. He only hit us in our stomach. Didn't hit us on the face.
No bruises.
Everything was here.
Yes.
And we were like, we're done. And he brought us back wherever he is right now. Because of that, I have mental issues. Brandon, go for it.
Yeah, so I look incredibly favorably upon fat shaming. I think it's really good and necessary. Yeah, I mean, because I think it's like to say fat shaming is bad is like to say smoke shaming is bad. Like to say if you say it's negative to smoke cigarettes, like would we say that's socially unacceptable? No, it's like objectively unhealthy to be fat. So in the military, in the police department, in the fire departments, you still see fat people in those departments. And then in the military too, I know a lot of guys in the military, and they said in 2018 it went from you would discipline people and they call them smoking them out and stuff for things, and to higher ranking people were literally afraid to do that to newer people because they could get in trouble and lose their rank or lose their jobs and get kicked out of the military. So literally privates were disrespecting higher ranked people after 2018 because they were no longer able to discipline them because of the way that like the HR stuff got in the military. They went from they called it Shark Week to the Thunder Run. So they changed all the hazing stuff. They like took hazing out of the military, and that's detrimental.
Well, as I was leaving, the great point, Brandon, as I was leaving the military, 2001, 2002, they started doing forms. Like they started giving, like if somebody yelled at you too much, you could write it and like I'm not even joking, and I'm like leaving, and I'm like bye. Yeah. It got soft.
It's bureaucracy if there's a form.
Yeah,
it's like horrible. How are you supposed to instill fear and respect into people if you can't hold them accountable?
No, I want killers, bro. Like we need killers. We don't need emotional.
I'm with it. So we'll see what's going to happen. By the way, Rob ran a poll. Rob, can you pull up the last poll you ran? Not about Tom. At this point, we all know what happened there. No, it's a different poll that Rob ran about being in shape. Look at the percentage of how people voted. Let's go. 7,300 people voted. Do you think members of the U.S. military should be in fit and in top shape?
I guarantee
98% said yes. And the 2% that didn't. 2% can I sell you some cheesecake?
Cereal and cheesecake.
We have a new valuetainment, future looks bright. Faith over fear, cheesecake. I got some faith over fear. I'm not afraid that I'm going to get fat eating this cheesecake. We got it for you. Shipping it to you right now for only $29.
It's all in how you take the survey. Are you in favor of military being strong enough to kick the enemy's ass so the enemy doesn't kick yours?
Yes.
Yes, I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next story. Next story I want to get to is Trump and Netanyahu announce peace plan, folks. U.S. President halls one of the greatest days in civilization as he reveals the 20-point roadmap to end Israel-Hamas war and for him to help run Gaza with Tony Blair. Okay? Here they are. Go for it, Rob.
This is a big day, a beautiful day, potentially
beautiful day.
One of the great days ever in civilization.
Ever.
Things that have been going on for hundreds of years and thousands of years. We're going to... At least we're at a minimum very, very close, and I think we're beyond very close. And I want to thank Bibi for really getting in there and doing a job. Mm-hmm. We've worked well together, as we have with many other countries, both of us, with many other countries, which is the only way this whole situation gets solved. And I'm not just talking about Gaza. Gaza is one thing, but we're talking about much beyond Gaza. The whole deal, everything getting solved. It's called peace in the Middle East. So today is a historic day for peace, and Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Rob, you want to pull up the 20-point
plan? And I have just concluded an important.
Because in that 20-point plan, just so you guys know, I believe Netanyahu apologizes for the Israel's Qatar strike. Okay, expressed deep regret to his Qatari counterpart Monday over September 9th strike aimed at Hamas leaders in Doha, a Jewish state. And, so that came from him. And then at the same time, so here we go, the Prime Minister welcomed these assurances, emphasizing Qatar's readiness to continue contributing meaningfully to regional security and stability. Prime Minister Netanyahu expressed commitment to the same. Israel has long expressed annoyance that Qatar plays a key role in the Middle East peace negotiations, despite hosting Hamas political leaders. The September 9th attack had targeted top terror figures as they gathered with Qatari mediations for another round of ceasefire discussions. But here's a 20-point plan that they have in place. Gaza will be de-radicalized terror-free zone that does not pose a threat to its neighbors. Gaza will be redeveloped for the benefits of the people of Gaza who have suffered more than enough. If both sides agree to this proposal, the war will immediately end. Israeli forces will withdraw to the agreed-upon line to prepare for hostage release. During this time, all military operations, including aerial and artillery bombardment, will be suspended, and the battle lines will remain frozen until conditions are met for the complete stage withdrawal. Within 24 hours of Israel publicly accepting this agreement, 72 hours, all hostages alive and deceased will be returned. And deceased?
Deceased. Yeah,
will be
alive
returned.
or dead.
Got it. Once all hostages are released, Israel will release 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans who were detained after October 7, 2023, including all women, children, and detained in this context. For all every Israeli hostage who remains are released, Israel will release the, Rob, I can't read the last part, will release the something.
The remains of the 15 deceased Gazans.
Okay, let's go to point number 6. Once all hostages are returned, Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence and to decommission their weapons will be given amnesty. Members of Hamas who wish to leave Gaza will be provided safe passages to receiving countries. Wow, who's going to receive?
Who's going to do that?
Take a terrorist week.
Egypt and Jordan have said no.
Upon acceptance of this agreement, full aid will be immediately sent into Gaza Strip. At a minimum, 8 quantities will be consistent with what was included in January 19, 2025 agreement regarding humanitarian aid, including rehabilitation of infrastructure, water, electricity, and sewage. Entry of distribution and aid in the Gaza Strip will proceed without interference from the two parties through the United Nations and its agencies. And read the Crescent, Rob, go to the next one. Okay, opening the Rafah. Gaza will be governed under the temporary transitional governance of technocratic, interesting, apolitical Palestinian committee responsible for delivering the day-to-day running of all public services and municipalities of the people of Gaza. Okay. Palestinian International Oversight Supervision and a new international transitional body, the Board of Peace, which will be headed and chaired by President Donald J. Trump. Wow. With other members and head of state announced, including former Prime Minister Tony Blair. This body will set the framework and handle the funding for the redevelopment of Gaza until such a time as the Palestinian Authority has completed its reform program. 10, a Trump economic development plan to rebuild and energize Gaza will be created by convening a panel of experts who have helped birth some of the thriving modern miracles cities in the Middle East. Go to the next one, Rob, 11. A special economic zone will be established with preferred tariff and access rates to be negotiated with participating countries. No one will be forced to leave Gaza, and those who wish to leave will be free to do so and free to return. Good. We will encourage people to stay and offer them the opportunity to build a better Gaza. Hamas and other factions agree to not have any role in the governance of Gaza directly or indirectly. That's big, in or any form, if they'll be able to pull that off. All military, terror, and offensive infrastructure, including tunnels and weapon production facilities, will be destroyed, not rebuilt. A guarantee will be provided by regional partners to ensure that Hamas and the factions comply with their obligations. And Rob, go a little bit. And the new Gaza, can't see, the new Gaza poses no threat to its neighbors or its people. Okay, let's go to 15. Do you have 15, 16, or?
I do. I have 16 through
20.
Yes. Here.
Boom, boom. We're almost there, so let's just wrap it. There you go.
16.
Israel will not comply or annex Gaza.
Occupy.
Will not occupy or annex Gaza as the ISAF establishes control and stability. The Israel Defense Force will withdraw based on standards, milestones, and timeframes linked to demilitarization that will be agreed upon. And then go to 17. In the event Hamas rejects or delays this proposal, the above, including the scaled-up aid operation, will proceed in the terror area, free areas handed over from IDF to the ISF. An interfaith dialogue process will be established based on the values of tolerance and peaceful coexistence to try and change mindsets and narratives of Palestinians and Israelis by emphasizing the benefits that can be derived from peace while Gaza redevelopment advances. And when the PA reform program is faithfully carried out, the conditions may finally be in place for a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood. And last but not least, the U.S. will establish a dialogue between Israel and Palestinians to agree upon a political horizon for peaceful and prosperous coexistence. Brandon, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so it's great if that's true. I think that, unfortunately, the reason that this is being talked about right now is because think they're gearing up to go back after Iran. Just based off, Rob, I sent you an article that U.S. refueling tankers are being sent over to the Middle East in heavy numbers, and it's the biggest amount of the activity since the last attack on Iran. So, yeah, I would love to see this plan be carried out. Like, a lot of the big things is that they're not going to be forcing them to leave Gaza, because that'd be messy. That they're not going to that they're not going to let Hamas keep running the country, because there was a lot of assistance to let Hamas run the country instead of the Palestinian Authority. So, I think all those things are good points and necessary to, create the best situation that's possible there. But I am concerned that this is probably gearing up to let attention go back to Iran.
Vinny, what do you think about it's an explosion?
All I was watching was your drink fizzing up. But I mean, on paper, it looks great, but at the end of the day, what are we talking about from a military standpoint? It's Hamas is in the tunnels with the hostages, okay? Like, that's the main goal. What operation? I still don't believe, because America, I don't know how Israel does it, America doesn't negotiate with terrorists. Period. End of story. We don't do it. So this situation is getting back these. How many hostages are left? You guys, is there a number?
50. What was the number? I may be wrong.
It's in the ballpark.
Okay, yeah.
It's in that ballpark. But at the end of the day, what are we talking about? We are talking about
48 hostages now.
48 left. And I literally pray for them every single day, for anybody that's held hostage there. But we have to be realistic. These people have been probably tortured for what's been 2 years right now.
Yeah.
The end goal is this should have been done. Everything that's talking about, Pat, with all these strikes and all that, everything, Brandon, should have been done immediately at October 7th. We've been dragging this on for a long time. I don't see Hamas coming to the table and going, yeah, okay, you can't trust them. Okay, you can't trust terrorists. So I think it's been dragged on for way too long. Again, all this looks good on paper, but at the end of the day, is Hamas going to agree with a 20-point plan?
But let me ask you, if Hamas rejects, but hear me out for a second. Israel is agreeing to this.
Yes.
Okay? And remember, I don't think Israel wants this.
Okay.
Okay? But they're agreeing to this. So now if Hamas is rejecting this deal, and you're seeing the leader of Hamas, no, we're okay. Every once in a while, there's a price for freedom and all this other stuff. Who does the onus fall on?
It's going to be on Hamas. Guess what then? And I just said that I pray for them. I'm going to pray for them even more, because they're going to kill everybody. And guess what? To make an omelet, sometimes you're going to break a couple of eggs. It's not going to be good for them. It's not going to be good, because that's the end game. Because even if they try to negotiate, we're talking about Hamas, Tom. We're talking about Hamas.
Did you see the interview that the Hamas leader did with CNN? Rob, can you pull that up? Did you see what he had to say?
No.
Okay. So the leader of Hamas did an interview with CNN. Rob, I just texted it to you. If you can go halfway through, the interviewer pushes the leader of Hamas, you just got the text, and says, are you willing to do it at the cost of, are you willing? So eventually, it's kind of like that moment of, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. And then eventually he says it.
Okay.
He says
really?
it. Yeah.
He says it out loud.
And if you can go halfway, Rob, this is the leader of Hamas sitting down with CNN. Go to about a minute 40 mark, minute 30 mark, right there. Brutal, keep going. Atrocity.
Does he have gunpowder on his forehead?
Occupation. Things golden moment in the history of the world. Okay, sir. Okay. Go back right there. Right there. Go back one more second. Beautiful. Go for it. Right there.
Change now.
Sir, you were just saying that as a result of October 7th, you are seeing millions of people marching in the streets, you are seeing countries recognize Palestine as a state, you are seeing legitimacy for your people. And I am asking you whether the price that Palestinian people have paid so far was worth it.
I know the price is so high, but I'm asking again, what is the option?
It's worth it.
What is the option left to the Palestinians? You know what? We waited for a peaceful process, for a peaceful means since 1993, since Oslo Agreement, till now, but I think we got a big zeal.
Let me show you the words of your people, okay? These are people in Gaza, and I want you to hear, because your own people in Gaza say that you do have responsibility for the situation.
He doesn't let
I'd like to show you
clip.
this.
Watch this.
رسالتنا لحماس أنه كفى مقامرة ومغامرة بنا. كفاكم يعني أنتم
This is not it. There's more.
I have seen this
Sir,
video. Yes.
There is more.
Now Hamas knows who that guy is.
I would like you to, there are 3 people here. I would like you to hear their voices.
I know people are suffering. There are some people blame Hamas.
Why will you not listen to the voices of Palestinian people in Gaza?
Look, yeah, I know. This is, but look, This is not the whole story. I know because this is because of the Israeli crimes in the Gaza Strip.
It seems that
you know.
See what happens right here. So this is the part where when you go back and forth and you watch who is willing, who is not, who started this one. Hamas started this one. Israel's coming back and saying, we're going to destroy you. And then now Israel's agreeing to pump the brakes because you're right. And even, I know something's about to happen in Iran. Something's going on over there on the other side. Tom, how do you process this yourself?
So I could only get through like the first 5 points. And then I sat back and said, okay, how the hell are they going to remove Hamas? How is it going to be de-radicalized? And
if we have a place there, Tom, how did Trump get rid of ISIS?
He just killed everybody.
I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
Stuff. Because
bonk, bonk, bonk.
How did Trump get rid of ISIS? What happened to ISIS? The only thing you hear about right now is ISIS in certain factions of it in Nigeria, what they're doing and killing the 125 pastors, or another faction you hear in Canada that burned down 112 different churches in Canada, mainly Catholic churches. You're hearing about that, right? But if U.S. is involved, you don't think he's shivering right now?
I think so. But the other thing I got to in those first 5 points was, and 250 healthy life sentence prisoners. How did those people end up in Israeli prisons as life sentences? They're killers, and they killed, and they committed acts of terrorism. So you're going to take 250 guys out of prison.
Terrorists.
Now, let me give you a copy of this. This is a 20-point plan, and point 4 and 5 is you're not going to be radical anymore, but we're letting you go back over here.
Okay.
So I hope that something comes out of this, but I clearly see, as just like you pointed out in that clip right there, that the citizens want this. And so the citizens are going to have to hold part of the, it's hard to say this, but the citizens are actually trying to hold some of the Hamas leadership to accountability. These are people showing their faces in front of TV cameras and are saying things. They're disconnected from reality and what I'm facing here. And I hope for those citizens that they get Gaza back so they can live and prosper with their families. I hope. They're innocent. But I look at taking 250 terrorists, in prison on
the case. Now, what are we going to be doing? Now, does this mean the attention is going to go from here to Iran? Maybe. If all of a sudden we see stuff that's going on with Iran right now escalate very, very quickly, also don't be surprised, because I don't think they're done there. I don't think that's done anytime
we got a lot of these things going on at once too. Because we don't want this to be an Iraq 2.0 where we don't have leadership there. Like if they take out Hamas,
we don't have leadership there,
right? Like if they take out Hamas, are they going to put a puppet leader in? Because that's not really stable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what a lot of people on the inside are saying, they would like this to lead to an election where Iranians can actually vote for who they want. Now, will that happen? Will they allow that to happen? Who knows whether they'll allow that to happen or not. And who is going to take his place over? Who is that going to be?
Yeah.
Who are they going to have in that place? So, Rob, what is this here?
This is Netanyahu just last week at the UN, where he talked about the Iranian people getting their freedom.
Right. Go for it.
The long-suffering Iranian people will regain their freedom. They will make Iran great again. And our two ancient peoples, the people of Israel and the people of Iran, will restore a friendship that will benefit the entire world.
Okay, so now, obviously, Iranian people are sick of what's going on there. Can Israel play a big role in that? I think it can. Is U.S. going to need to get involved for the Iran regime to fall? No question. Of course. It's not going to happen without it. Israel cannot do without U.S. So this is why, what are the chances you think that Netanyahu apologized to Qatar, that Trump said you better apologize or else because you're ruining my relationship with other dealings that I'm doing? What are the chances?
I'm over 90.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% with this. And I mean 100%. I mean, of course, nobody knows for a fact, but I'm up there to the point where I know he's going to say, hey,
with you.
You better do this or else I'm not going to defend you. Why are you doing something? Like, that whole call that everybody talks about? The shouting match call that happened with Trump screaming at Netanyahu?
Yeah.
How much you think that happened?
I'm over 90 again.
Yeah, same
I'm pretty
place
sure
as well.
it happened.
So again, the main common denominator of the trust goes to who? To one guy. If the one guy is involved, I'm more comfortable of how these things could be executed. If he's not involved, and by the way, flip the story. Put Kamala being that one person. Who fears him? Hamas fears Kamala?
No.
Will Hamas fear Biden? No. They're sitting there saying, thank God, it's Biden or Kamala. This is the worst thing that ever happened to Russia, to China, to Iran, to everybody that this guy is now in. Nobody wants this guy to be in because whatever he says has to go in.
Exactly.
He's getting a lot of stuff done. So we'll see what happened here. Let's go to the next story. Next story I want to get to is Charlie Javis. Folks, after this story, to all the single men watching this, we have some extremely life-changing advice for you. We'll get to that. But first, Charlie Javis gets 7 years for defrauding J.P. Morgan Chase. 7 years. While he's getting this, Rob, go ahead and play this clip first, and then we'll go through the whole thing.
She was once a star CEO on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. But now a judge has sentenced this startup founder turned fraudster to 7 years in prison after being convicted of duping a major investment bank out of a staggering $175 million. Wow.
We started Frank with really thinking about how are we the ally for the student and the family.
Charlie Javis sold her startup company called Frank to J.P. Morgan Chase back in 2021. At the time, she claimed her company, which helped streamline the financial aid process for low-income college students, had millions of users. But after the deal went through, J.P. Morgan discovered that number was close to just 300,000, and Javis had fabricated most of the user information. Javis, now 33, was convicted in March, prosecutors requesting a 12-year prison sentence, but her lawyer asking for lenience, dismissing comparisons between Javis and disgraced entrepreneur Elizabeth Holmes, claiming that Javis's company was real, unlike Holmes's company Theranos, which sold a fake blood testing product. Javis's lawyer also arguing the bank shouldered some responsibility, saying it was a 28-year-old versus 300 investment bankers from the largest bank in the world, and claiming they rushed the acquisition. The judge agreeing the bankers do shoulder some blame, but adding the sentencing hearing was about punishing Javis's conduct, not J.P. Morgan's stupidity. Beyond the 7-year prison sentence, the judge also ordering Javis to pay nearly $300 million in restitution, telling her, I don't think you'll be committing other crimes, but others have to be deterred.
Jeez. There you go.
And Javis remains free.
Well, I'll tell you, this is the dark side of startups. And there's so many people that come to the vault. They're honest people just trying to build a business. And then there are people that get out there that say, fake it till you make it. Sure. Put together, you don't know if it's going to work, but you know what? It's the venture capitalist money. I've heard young people and entrepreneurs openly say that there are things in their deck that weren't accurate and stuff. And this is what happens. That's upstream. This is downstream. Downstream, you end up in a pond of your own deceit. And then every now and then somebody speaks up. And this was J.P. Morgan. And so the whole defense here about, J.P. Morgan, and the comment by the commentator there, I'll read out the exact words of the lawyer. It says, and it was Judge Hellerstein. So Judge Hellerstein, we would never ask you to punish J.P. Morgan's stupidity, but we submit that it's a relevant factor. In other words, our client's a criminal, but the victim was too stupid. That's like saying that if your kid stole the lunch money from an autistic kid, that your kid shouldn't be punished because the autistic kid was too dumb. No, this shows her hubris. And I'm glad this has happened because this is a cautionary tale. There are good entrepreneurs out there that are trying to get investment, that are trying to get their companies going. And then there's these people out here that just sell it like this. And by the way, Adam Newman, the guy from WeWork that defrauded SoftBank, I'm still wondering why he didn't end up floating in the Hudson, because he defrauded some very big international people of $2 billion with the B
You're
dollars.
just using figurative speech.
Figurative speech. Yeah, he's shocked that he wasn't swimming.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying,
the fishes.
No, I'm not wishing death on him. I'm saying, but when you defraud some big people, sometimes big people play big people games, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
and sometimes these big people show up with like big female foreman type. I'm just like.
But I think,
no.
this is a
scary
cautionary
stuff. It's scary
tale,
business.
and I'm glad to see it. And if she's sitting in the prison courtyard playing checkers with Elizabeth Holmes, well, guess what? Good for you. Go away for 7 years and think about it.
You just
because
pissed Tom
this was
off.
absolutely a
Charlie, what is wrong with you?
Charlie!
We were having a good conversation. You pissed Tom
Thanks,
off.
Charlie.
Brandon, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I might surprise you guys here. So this actually annoys me that I get she deserves what happened here, but nothing happened to the banks in 2008 when they stole money from people. They defrauded the entire country with bad mortgages, and then nothing happened to them. Not only did nothing happen to them, but they were given money by the government with the promise of, okay, yeah, we'll stimulate the economy with the money that you give us. They paid themselves bonuses. So, if anybody watched The Big Short, there's only one random guy who went to jail for that.
The guy from Deutsche Bank.
Yeah.
32-year-old guy from Deutsche Bank because he lied.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. I mean, I get, she definitely.
You're not alone.
She definitely deserves to go to jail, but I think a lot of people should have went to jail for what happened in 2008.
Yeah, you are not alone. Michael Jackson said you're not alone, and I agree with them. All right, so listen, to all the single folks, if you got kids, you may want to listen to this. So there's a man, some call him philosopher, modern-day Aristotle. His name is Judge Grady from Polk County, Rob.
Polk.
He wants to share something with you guys, and it's a very sentimental but accurate assessment of what could happen if you go get a prostitute in Polk County and some other places in America, and it's so bad and so true that his partner behind him, one of his direct reports, can't even hold himself together, folks. But the level of wisdom is on a whole different level. So whatever you're doing, if you're driving and listen to the podcast, just please keep your eyes on the road or pull over, because this is dangerous stuff. Go ahead, Rob.
So this is Polk, not Polk County, right?
Tom, do that one more time. Do that one more time. Make fun of my accent one more time. Go ahead, Rob.
There's things in life
Tom,
you
just
just
listen.
can't believe. So you order up a prostitute, right? This prostitute lives with his mother, by the way. He's got a massive criminal history.
Pause real quick. Notice what she said. This prostitute lives with his mother.
He's a hooker.
Yeah, so just continue.
I'm so confused
It's a
already.
very important detail. Go ahead, Rob.
Year criminal history with 31 criminal charges. So you order up a prostitute, and that's what you think you're getting. Now, when you look at that, you go, "Wow, that's pretty rough," but any port in the storm. And then the next morning, when you wake up,
Oh, my God.
you find out this is who it really is.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we call that coyote ugly. You see, he's laying on your arm in bed.
The guy behind
You go,
him.
"It was rough last night, but I've sobered up.
Oh, my.
I think I'll just chew my arm off and ease away so I don't disturb him or wake him up." All right, so you think you're buying this, you're getting this. He's got 31 criminal charges, and heck, if you're lucky, he doesn't kill you overnight.
I mean, look, it's called wisdom, right? Yeah, you have to know you're waking up. What do you say? You're biting off your arm,
Chewing off your arm. Just
What
a
do you think
slight-
about this advice, Vinny?
First of all, I thought it was a female, and I don't even know where this was going. But my question is, so is that, was that guy robbing people, or was he actually having sex with the Govt?
Sounds like he was pretending to be a girl.
He's pretending to be a girl, and then what was he, like, is he hooking up with gay men? I'm so confused. He was hanging
The
up. None of that is
fact
clear.
that you're interested
No,
what
I
he
don't even know
does
what the hell is going on.
tells me why you have such a creative, wonderful, comedic mind.
Are you ready for this?
I appreciate
my
it.
brain is going to this. He's having a press conference where people complaining, like, did they want their money back? Was it buyer's remorse? Because it looks like, first of all, if that shows up and that's what you're actually into, to each his own. But then, how do you not tell that it's a dude? Like, how? I'm so confused right now.
It's midnight. You've had
Danny,
8
you
beers.
saw the crying game.
Yeah, no,
Surprise!
but like, what's he trying to say? Don't like know what you're buying? Because the prostitution part doesn't even look like it's the problem. It's the fact that the guy is acting like he's a girl. That's the problem.
Brandon, what do you think about this?
So
Give us your expertise here.
I gotta admit, I'm an amateur in that field, so I can't give any expertise. But yeah, no, it's scary. It's a cautionary tale, I guess he's using there. But I don't know. Should prostitution be legalized? Like, so we don't get up. So people know what they're getting at least. I don't know. That's a question as old as time.
I mean, it's the oldest profession, but I'm not.
It's like alcohol. Creates a whole big criminal industry because of the fact that it's illegal, but also it's kind of debaucherous for society if it is legal. So that's a kind of a deeper question.
Yeah, listen. One of my friends, his dream was to go to Brazil, to go to what is it called? Not the festival. What are they? Carnival.
Carnival in Rio.
So he went to Carnival. He saved up all this money for 2 years to go to the Carnival. And he goes, comes back, has the time of his life, except for one night. He meets this girl, drop dead gorgeous, and he can't believe how hot she is. They're dancing, they're doing their thing and all this other stuff, and he's grinding all this and grind, baby, grind with me, relax, like all that stuff, right? Yeah. And then she returns the favor.
Oh boy,
to him. I'm like, first of all, why are you letting her grind? It's like I had one too many drinks. He says, when she did, I learned very quickly I had to run.
Oh my God!
It's like when Charles Barkley. Have you ever heard Charles Barkley say, "Listen, man, when you're playing too much defense, I can feel your, when I can feel your thing, it's a little too much defense." So, I don't know. You just got to be careful, folks. The Barkley's wisdom versus a Polk County. Tom, let me get it correctly for you, so you're happy about it. So, anyways, this is just funny, man. Sometimes when this guy speaks. Like, imagine him being your father or your grandfather, and he's telling you, still trying to teach you a lesson. Imagine you can write a book. What lessons did your dad teach you? One time I got caught smoking this. Here's what he did to me. Took me home. He did this. He did that. Just seems like the type of guy I like. He's got a sense of humor.
He's like Kennedy in Congress with his funniness.
He's got a sense of humor.
Back at the peak, Dr. Phil used to do this. At the peak of his show.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did this, then this, and you thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
You remember those things? And the guys would be saying, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know on what planet that's a good idea or even half a good idea.
Yeah.
I used to love listening to Dr. Phil tear people up for that.
Still doing it.
Yeah. So let's go to the next one here. I'm going to get to the next story. A couple more stories before we wrap up. Don Lemon is talking to Ilhan Omar, okay, a person whom Trump is wanting to deport back to her country. He even asked the leader of Somalia if they would take her back, like a refund. And they're having that kind of a conversation. But she had some things to say. Was she not, Rob, being interviewed by Don Lemon, Ilhan?
Yep.
And
right here.
He somehow bumps into her and is interviewing her. But go ahead, Rob. Let's see what this happens here. Go ahead.
I have nothing to apologize for. It is a tragedy that Charlie Kirk was killed in that way. I feel for his widow and his children. They will have to live with that for the rest of their lives. But there is no legacy to honor. It was a legacy filled with bigotry, hatred, and white supremacy. Mm-hmm. And as a black woman and as a Muslim in this country, I refuse to join the chorus that changes the history of what is on the record from this man. And so, Nancy Mace, the president, whatever, these crazy people can do whatever they want to do. Yeah. But I am not going to be bullied into complacency, into, dishonoring who I am and what I stand for just to...
How long can you listen to her?
Oh, but do you notice this, guys? Do you notice the left? No security. Nobody's. They know that nobody wants to do anything to them because we're the normal side. But they're out there spitting this freaking poison. The fact that she's saying white supremacists and all this stuff, she cannot point one thing that Charlie said that was about racism or white supremacy or another. These are just BS talking points, and she's disgracing his freaking legacy, and it's disgusting.
I wonder what that would have been like if she was walking with Van Jones.
Oh, it would have been a whole different conversation.
I think he would have shut it down and corrected it.
You think he would have? You think Van Jones would have corrected it and Don Lemon wouldn't have? Maybe.
Yeah, I think Van Jones would have stepped
Don't forget, Tom. Like the day before Charlie got killed. Don't forget what Van Jones said about Charlie that went viral. Do you remember that clip?
He was talking crap about him.
Do you remember that? Exactly a day or two, Rob. If you got that, Van, not Vance. Yeah, Van. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So
they were, as Van Jones said, we were beefing hard in the days before.
He actually went on video though, Tommy. He said something about it.
He said something very, very direct.
He was on CNN?
Oh yeah. He put the onus on Charlie. He put the onus on Charlie, and this was like literally.
Oh, was it about the? Oh, it was about the guy stabbing on the train. I think he was making some comment.
Yeah, this is the one. Go ahead and play this clip.
I don't know why that man did what he did. And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that.
He said, I got that white girl.
Race mongering, hate mongering.
I got that white girl. Yeah. Blood dripping everywhere.
We don't know.
Yeah, yes, we did, Van.
So the point is, look, I give everybody grace that, you make mistakes, but the day before that happened, that's a pretty direct thing to say. So going back to Don Lemon, right? Yeah. Going back to Don Lemon. Don Lemon is continuing here. Rob, if you have this clip, go ahead and play the clip. Here's Don Lemon. Folks, if you're a white man, he thinks it's all your fault. Go ahead, Rob.
Men who look like you, men who vote like you, and men who sound like you. White men, something is broken. Something is cracked deep inside when so many of you believe the answer to fear, to loss, to change is violence. Are you listening to me? I hope I'm saying it loud enough for the people in the back.
Brandon, he was talking to you. What do you have to say?
I just had an epiphany. I think he's been watching Nick Fuentes because he's kind of copying Nick Fuentes, but in the reverse way. Nick Fuentes says that about black people a lot. In the same tone, tries to be the same provocative way. I think he's copying Nick Fuentes.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Very interesting observation.
Because he's obviously desperately trying to get views. He's doing the man on the street. He's doing his podcast in his living room like a teenager. So, I mean, I think he's trying to try things out. He sees Fuentes picking up some momentum in X. I think he's copying Fuentes.
How much do you think he watches Fuentes?
Oh, I think he watches all the big people. Like I think if somebody's doing well on social media, I think he's studying them and obsessively trying to model them.
I actually agree with you. I think that's a very, very good observation. But the reality of it is, to say it's the white man's fault, Tom, what do you have to say about that?
No, they need a victim, and they have to be the victim. And so everyone else has to be bad to be so someone else is a victim. You need a protagonist. You need an enemy. And when people are moving, and here we go again, blacks, Hispanics, and youth are moving toward the center and voting this way, these people become apoplectic. And when I say these people, I mean these media people, Rachel Maddow, regardless of their color, whether it's Van Jones and Don Lemon or it's Jake Tapper. It's not about race. It's not about sexual orientation, anything. They can't handle what's happening, and so they need there to be an enemy, and the enemy, white privilege and white people are broken, is so easy for them, but it's cheap. And it's wrong, and they know it's wrong, and that's and deep down inside they know that it's hollow. But they've got no other. There's no other bullet in the gun, not to use a violent metaphor, but there's no other like. What else do you pull off the shelf? It's not working.
First of all, what about his white husband who's probably in the other room doing dishes? No, I'm dead serious. How does he feel about it? Okay, and just really fast, going back to Ilhan Omar.
He got a hunky hubby.
Yeah, he does. And so does Ilhan Omar. All these problems are white people. She said in the past, our country should be more fearful.
To a bro. Get it?
Yeah, she's more fearful of white men because they're actually causing most of the deaths in this country. This is her. If fear was a driving force, we should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men. And Don Lemon, how disgusting and lazy and dangerous it is what he's saying. And Tom, what did your mug? Oh, your mug right there. Words talk, numbers scream. Can you imagine if a white person, and look at the numbers right here. If a white person sat in front of a camera, Pat, and just said the actual facts and said that black men are about 6% of the U.S. population. FBI data shows that they're responsible for nearly half, 50% of the murders in this country. What would the world say? What would the world say? Don Lemon knows exactly what the hell he's doing. He's trying to be relevant. The fact that they kicked him out of a freaking studio, now he's a man on the street talking to other psychotic people like Ilhan Omar, tells you everything that you need to know. But think about this. Pat, you showed this video for a long time ago and it stuck with me. What happened to the old Don Lemon? Remember that video that we have? An old Don Lemon that was addressing the African-American community.
Oh, how about lift your pants up? How about be respectful?
You want to see this?
Yeah,
Play this, Rob.
Because black people, if you really want to fix the problem, here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5, pull up your pants. Number 4 now is the N-word. I hosted a special on the N-word, suggesting that black people stop using it, and that entertainers stop deluding yourselves or themselves and others that you're somehow taking the word back. Now number 3, respect where you live. Start small by not dropping trash, littering in your own communities. I've lived in several predominantly white neighborhoods in my life. I rarely, if ever, witness people littering. I live in Harlem now. It's an historically black neighborhood. Every single day I see adults and children dropping their trash on the ground when a garbage can is just feet away. Number 2, finish school. You want to break the cycle of poverty? Stop telling kids they're acting white because they go to school or they speak proper English. Number 1, and probably the most important, just because you can have a baby, it doesn't mean you should, especially without planning for one or getting married first. More than 72% of children in the African...
So I'm just curious to, hey, Don, what happened to you? And shame on you while your white husband is back there cleaning the house and doing whatever. You're saying that he is the problem with this country. Shame on you and shame on you, Ilhan Omar.
Same thing happened to him that happened to Aaron Burnett. Aaron Burnett was on CNBC in the morning, doing morning show, talking business, opening bell, Squawk on the Street. There was those programs that you see on CNBC. Yeah. And she, by all accounts, was down the middle. And there was plenty of opportunity for her there to express her opinion about the government on this law, that law, legislation, regulation of business, the Fed, plenty of things. She was done. She goes to CNN, signs it and takes the contract, and suddenly it's almost like, did the contracts that Don Lemon and Aaron Burnett took when they stepped into a bigger chair at CNN, did it radicalize them? Were they radicalized by the dollars?
So you put it on Zucker? You put it on the heads of CNN? Is that who you put it on?
Well, somebody has to sign the contract and be interested. And then there's a lot of producers that tell you this is the way it's going to be that you may not have seen when you signed the contract.
So, Rob, why don't we do this? So let's go to Charlie Kirk and new stories coming out. So last week we showed a clip, maybe on Monday, the Range Day Bro clip. Guy on Manex sends me a message saying, Pat, that Range Day Bro clip you played was great, but a guy just sent me something showing a complete different thing. Fast forward the Range Day Bro clip to about 4 minutes. Keep going, and go a little bit more. Okay, back up a little bit, Rob. Back up a little bit. Where it shows the headset on Charlie's ear. Go back. Let's see if we're going to see it or not. Go back a little bit. So he's showing this part. Ah, man. Okay, right there. Play it from right there, Rob.
Comes in.
I don't see a bullet coming in anywhere.
In that circle area. You have the blood splatter go down, then up, and then the exit wound emerges.
You're also going to find out this guy talks out both sides of his mouth. He'll say something like, the FBI is lying, the official narrative is lying, and then he'll say, I'm not accusing anybody of anything.
What matters is that the official narrative is not true.
See that,
again,
that
whether
thing
the
that comes
FBI
out, it
knows
looks like
or
it's
not
blood,
that they're
right?
lying.
They will say it's 100% conclusive,
So-
or it's already been proven. You know, this
It looked
sort of
like
thing.
blood. Even
And
we
that's the
thought it was
trick that
blood,
they
right?
use to plant the
Now,
seed
Rob,
in your
go
brain
fast forward
that
at a
this is-
different angle with him. Just fast forward the clip and go until he shows the angle. Keep going. Okay. Right there. Go back about 20 seconds. Okay, play it from right there. Go ahead.
So we're going through here step by step, frame by frame until we find it. So that right there, you can see his reaction right here. So this is what I believe to be the first frame capturing his reaction of anything from the bullet. So now here, when you look around his ear, I believe that is
one
the
of those
wire.
earpiece, like,
for
you know,
his
the wire
earpiece,
when you
and
speak?
it's often a transparent type wire. Now let's go ahead one more frame.
That
There it is.
comes
It's
up.
coming
So it looks like it's
here
blood.
now behind him. That is certainly not blood splatter like this guy falsely claimed. And also, where's the blood dripping that he was claiming was dripping on the side of Charlie's head. There is no blood there because there was no entry wound here.
That's his
One more
opinion,
frame. You could see that it was up in the air. You can see it's still right there, still vertical. And now it's right there. It just flung behind his head, and it's kind of going diagonal right there. And keep your eye right there on that spot. You're going to see it disappear on the next frame. See, it moved up and gone already because of the force of the impact. Now, nowhere here is there any type of entry wound. You would have seen an explosive entry wound by now, just like we did from the views from the front, which shows that there was absolutely 0 shots hitting Charlie from this side. So anybody that tries to show you a video from
pause it right there. Okay, so remember, guys, this is why I love what's going on right now. Because everybody is what? Reacting to whatever they have and reacting to whatever they have. Tom, when you see this, what do you think about?
Well, I want to see all the perspectives and all the angles. I don't want to keep seeing, Charlie and the moment of passing there. But I want to know for sure what's up. I want to know for sure what's up. And everybody that is a forensic analyst is saying the same thing. They said, that does not look like an entry wound on the front of his neck. That does not look like an entry wound. That looks like an exit wound. You have hunters that have talked about this. You have people that are coroners that have talked about this. And so the question is, okay, how did such a cataclysmic wound happen there? And the bullet, Man of Steel, was lodged in there. Okay, is somebody going to do ballistics? So I'm waiting for conclusive data from a real investigation other than, hey, his DNA was on this firearm. Okay, but had the firearm been fired? And do we have ballistics on the bullet that you said was found in his neck just below the skin? I want to see all these angles, and I'm glad that one is keeping others in check. But man, that's an exit wound from the front. That's my opinion based on the folks that I'm watching who are experts in these kind of forensics. And so the question is, how do you get that kind of a wound?
Vinny.
I'm with Tom 100%. They're claiming, this is the FBI and everybody, that it was the 30-06. It was not a 30-06. The official narrative is not official. And this guy is just another, and I get 100%, it looks like an earpiece, but from anybody that shot guns and knows about this type of thing, that if it was a 30-06, it would have been a completely, it would have been disgusting. It would have been a lot worse than what you guys saw, number one. Number two, all this footage, just camera phones sucked in and it's blurry. The main footage is the HD camera that was sitting behind Charlie shooting down, capturing him and the entire crowd. But somebody from Turning Point grabbed it, was all sneaky with it, put it in a hat and give it to another guy that ran off. And we're supposed to just take their word that this guy handed it off after he looked at it and gave it to the FBI. I'm sorry. I don't believe the official narrative.
You called the school. What
I
happened
called
when you
yesterday.
called the school?
I called, and Amanda was with me. She recorded it. I called UVU, and I called to the main desk, and I said, "Hey, I'm with such and such." I made up a thing, and I said, "I'm trying to find out if you guys, because the construction that's happening right now is unbelievable. It doesn't even look like what it is right now, okay? Doesn't make sense." I said, "Who do I talk to? You guys just had, and I apologize, you guys had the biggest assassination since JFK on your campus. Was there scheduled construction on the exact site where this happened? Can you comment on that?" He goes, let me direct you to the right place. Your conversations, you're typing, sends me to like maintenance or something like that. And it's a female that picks up. And I go, "Hey, I'm so-and-so with media." I go, "I'm just curious. Did you guys have construction set up?" Whispering, talking to I can't talk to you about that. I go, no, hold on one second. I don't need information about the shooting or nothing like that. Did you guys have scheduled maintenance? Because I would assume that if it's an assassination at this magnitude, you would leave the crime scene for potential bullets, potential fragments, other things to recreate in the scene. There's stuff in that ceiling, that overhead pat, that there's cameras, there's an opening that you could get in there. I'm like, how is this normal? Who made the decision? I can't say anything. Let me give you the information to our VP of Strategic and communications management. I called her 3 times. I don't even want to say her name. I called 3 times. Nobody picked up, and I left the message. I'm just trying to figure out with this type of magnitude. And you know what's insane? For how many minutes after, not one police officer went there and secured the crime scene. I've watched multiple videos. I've watched aftermath of videos. I saw people coming and stealing hats off a truck and throwing them. Some guy's like, what the hell are you doing? There's no way this type of cover-up. And the fact that when you
That's a fact that you law enforcement should have shown up and taped the scene.
Why didn't they?
And you know what's crazy?
Just like Butler.
They were
Why
there, though.
didn't they?
I don't know, but you know what's crazy, Pat? I saw a cop. One cop basically had his gun drawn while they were bringing Charlie, God rest his soul, to the vehicle. Your job, bro, is to go... This idiot, and by the way, Candace yesterday was talking about this guy, Pat. She knows him. She goes, never has this guy ever been around when we were on tour.
This who? Back up a second and say who we're talking about.
The guy with the camera that was taking the SD card
Who
out.
stood on the chair.
Who stood? Think about this, guys. It's a crime scene. You're moving the chair that he was shot. There's probably evidence in there if there was, God forbid, a bullet in there. He's climbing up there, moving everything, and nobody's saying anything? Common sense 101. You're touching the crime scene. That's the main event. That camera has everything. Okay, and I'm sorry. People are like, who do you trust? Get Israel, get all that out of there. The way that it was handled and the fact that his friends and everybody else have just moved on and they're worrying about Turning Point does not sit with me well, Pat. And I'm talking about my mom. I'm talking about people from all walks of life are like, something doesn't feel right.
Whose mom?
My mom, my aunt, my cousins, my friends. I'm having messages from people that I haven't talked to in years that are like, I know I watched the show and everything. They go, none of us feel like what we're being told is the truth. Not with Tyler, not with none of it is adding up. The boyfriends disappeared. Now they're trying to say that Tyler didn't even step foot on the campus
so let me
that
ask
day.
you this. What do you think is going to end up happening?
Just like every single time, PBD, they always get away with it. Evil on this sense, they get away with it because we're almost 3 weeks into it, and I know some of her points are a little out there. She's the only one. Nobody from their side is asking questions like this. If you were my friend, Pat, and I died, I would want you to be like, wait a minute, why were you touching shit? Who has the footage? And it doesn't add up. Tyler doesn't even add up.
Happen, Tom?
So I'm thinking 3 things. Actually more like 2. The first is there are hard facts that dots aren't connecting. Did he fire one shot from up on top? Crowd reaction appears to be a little different. And he really ran off that way with that gun of that size in that jacket or blanket, whatever he had there. He was walking peg leg down the street with the gun down the leg of his pants. You know, there's things on the Tyler angle that don't add up. Why is this older gentleman standing up when everybody would be ducking down? You know, I was in a restaurant when a gunshot went off in a bar. One gunshot. Everybody was on the ground. We were all under the tables until a server said, you know, our security guy took the guy outside. Nobody got shot. But I've seen that. So that's one point in my life when I was in college. I heard a gunshot indoors. You're all down. Yep. Why is this old guy standing up waving a hat? So I see little facts like this that just don't seem to add up. Why wasn't there police there taping up the scene? Why are people taking cameras that would be holding footage that would be of great interest to the FBI? Why is the Utah governor coming to the microphone? We got him, and we got the gun. It reminds me, if you read Oswald, they did the same thing. They held up the Italian gun,
Everybody took the photos?
and then they talked about Oswald, and a day later they killed Oswald.
Yeah, weird.
Brandon, what do you think happened? What do you think's going on?
So these facts bother me. There's my headline, Pat. The facts that we can have
Brandon, what do you
bother
think?
me.
So the only thing I could say for certain is that we're clearly not being told everything that the FBI knows. We're not being told everything the hospital knows. We're not being told everything Turning Point knows. And that was one of the things I was most excited about for this administration was the notion of having a transparent FBI for the first time where, you know, we know the games they play for like with the JFK stuff, with the Butler, Pennsylvania stuff. and even the Epstein stuff. But we're not getting that. And you would think that somebody like Kirk, who was almost the most responsible person for getting Trump elected, like Trump could be in jail if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk with what the Democrats wanted to do for him. You would think that he would have come down with more vengeance and more curiosity about what happened to Kirk and spoke about that more. So I'm surprised to see that from Trump's end, that he's not more curious about what happened to Kirk. I'm surprised that Kash Patel's not being more transparent and forceful to find out what happened. And then not only that, they're withholding stuff from us in addition to not being transparent about. So I don't think there's enough to say for certain who might have done it, but I can say for certain that we don't know everything they know, and they're like they're forcing us to come up with these theories and alternate opinions because they're deceptive.
How long are you willing to be patient? Like actually, Hanlon's razor, okay?
Achman?
Hanlon's razor.
What's that one?
Hanlon's razor, if you pull it up, Rob, I'll read it. Hanlon's razor is...
Never attribute to malice.
Never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity, Tom, or
a mistake.
Or a mistake. So it suggests that negative events or poor actions are more often the result of ignorance, incompetence, carelessness, or other non-malicious factors than intentional evil or malice. Let's take this as innocent until proven guilty. Perspective real quick.
Mm-hmm.
None of this stuff makes sense. Bullet goes in here, shouldn't be an explosion. Bullet goes in here, it comes out because the damage doesn't go in like that. The damage comes out. So I'm with you. I'm on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
That coming out looks like it didn't come this way because at first we thought it was blood squirting. It's not blood squirting. It was actually things. So that's good that we're seeing that. The guy standing up automatically and starts walking towards the area being shot is the same guy that was there on 9/11. And then the guy putting the chip in the hat and walking, all this stuff, I'm with it. But to me, I guess the question I'm asking is, how long, imagine you're them. You are Kash. You're doing the investigation. How long should you have to get to the bottom of this? I guess that's the part that we don't know. And what is the protocol? What are you supposed to go through? What's supposed to be the process? How many people are you interviewing? How many people are you supposed to be talking to? The fact that you're seeing the place being fixed up, and that's where the shooting was, and you get it fixed. Have they made an announcement why they did the construction?
Absolutely not.
It's not just
Has the school made any
changed?
I totally get it.
No
Rob,
autopsy.
is there any announcement by the university why they've done that?
No, I took a look this morning. I could not find a single news article, nothing about any type of construction that was being planned
Can
either.
you send me? Is that clip on Twitter?
I have her number
Is
again.
that is that number?
Yes.
Pat, should I call her again?
There was no autopsy, right?
What is the?
I'm gonna call her name is Ellen. I could call them right now.
Call them right now.
Okay. I love this.
Call them right now. This is what? This is the university. Rob,
is
can we
UVU.
call and you just
Hang on 1 second.
What I'm trying to find out is,
Z, I'm doing it.
all we want to know is one thing. Have you made the announcement of...
Utah is a one-party consent state, so you're good.
So I can do this?
But Florida's two-party.
So you can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, but this is
So-
all I've been getting. Nobody picks up.
I know. You can't do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
So what I want to do is I'm going to ask the question to see if they've made the announcement. You don't just fix up the place that got shot up and not make an announcement about it. So play as if you're on the inside. What's your argument? Don't play the devil's advocate. Play the opposite of devil's advocate, which is, what do you call the opposite of devil's advocate? What is the antonym of devil's advocate? How do you
God's advocate.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what I'm saying?
one
how do
being
you-
the opposite,
play
opinion.
like they're doing everything truthfully.
Okay.
What's your argument? You're on Cash's team. Give that argument.
On Cash's team, it's like, the shooter.
Well, you would say that it would be because they don't want to give evidence away that would be pertinent to know on the FBI side. But Cash is the one that came out and said, "Hey, we got him," before they even had him. So that contradicts the notion of them trying to withhold things from the public.
Yeah, saying that you have a shooter that fast before you actually had the shooter doesn't add any credibility to you, which you've already lost the
But
credibility.
remember, you're not doing it. Just do it for a second.
Do it.
Well, they're handling
You're the spokesperson for them, and you truly know everything they know. Okay? Speak on their behalf. What do you say?
Hey, I respect the public's curiosity here. It's a horrible thing that happened to a very public figure. This is an active investigation. There are multiple angles that are being pursued here, and we have to pursue those and complete the investigation without tipping off people or without framing it through the media, and we can't lose our opportunity to prosecute because certain things are misrepresented in the media. So you need to let us do our work. We're interviewing a lot of people and following a lot of leads. Now I'm stuck. So let's say I'm the I'm the press secretary for the FBI. Says, well, so why did you say you have you got him? If there's a second shooter, don't you have to come forward and say you don't got him? So in that case, Pat, it would be hard for me. Now how do I spin from the inside? So you're saying maybe you don't got him. You're saying you're still investigating him. Either you got him and you're done, FBI, or you're pursuing other leads, still looking into it. Which is it, sir? And you're kind of stuck. But from the inside, that's what I would be saying.
What's up, Rob?
It's interesting. There's some construction information that's been released by the Utah Valley University, but none of it has to do with the building that you guys are mentioning or where Charlie was shot. So they released a student center remodel. There's an article about that. There's also the Scott M. Smith building that they were constructing. There's also the stadium that they're going to be using. So they do issue announcements regarding construction ongoing at the campus. There's nothing written about where Charlie was shot and construction being done there.
Weird. It's so weird.
Here's the problem. The problem is it's hard to make a case for them. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to make a case why it's if let's just say the school does have that construction scheduled. You're the FBI. You're the local PD. Guys, you're not touching this for 3 weeks.
Yeah, a week.
Can you look up, Rob? What is the longest a crime scene stayed intact?
Good question.
What is the longest a crime scene stayed intact just to get all evidence?
Or the average amount of time even?
I want to know the longest. I want to know the longest, not the average time. I want to know, because shortly, average is going to be probably 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. But what is the longest a crime scene stayed intact? And maybe that's not the question, Rob. Tom, what's the question? Are we asking a question the right way? Do you know what I'm trying to ask?
Standard practice, maybe?
Yeah. What is the
standard modern? No, that's not what I'm talking about.
You're saying like
I'm talking
there was
a
a
murder scene. Like, what's the longest?
40 plus days later in homes
years
or hitting
later.
containers.
40 years later.
Years.
No, but that's not real. What I'm asking is, what is the longest in America after a murder took place that the FBI asked to keep the murder scene untouched for them to investigate the entire, homicide? Okay, I want to know this question because I want to make comps. I want to make comparisons. Let's look at this here. In Joseph Kennedy in 1969, the FBI exhumed the body. This decades later, don't get the DNA names of Donald Johnson. If you like it, I can. No, I want to know how, because let's just say we'll look this up. Shouldn't be hard to find this, Rob. I just don't know if we're asking a question the right way. Let's just say if there's cases where it was 40 days, it better be bigger than this assassination. Let's say there's cases that's 2.5 months. I'm sure there are. Why did you move so quickly on this one? I don't understand that. Leave the scene the way it is until we get everything figured out. Okay, so World Trade Center, 8 months. Okay. John and Ramsey House, Boulder, 6-year-old murderer, family home remained under investigation
for months.
Evidence was collected over a long span, but the house was eventually released and later sold. The house remained sealed and under investigation for months. Okay.
Yeah.
So John Benet Ramsey, 6-year-old murder, Oklahoma City bombing, Manson family murders, crime scene for weeks. The Tate LaBianca houses were crime scenes for weeks, but eventually returned to owners. For weeks. That's weeks, bro.
Yep. Weeks.
Typical duration is most homicide scenes in the U.S. are held for days to weeks, sometimes months if the site is large or high profile. Is this not a high profile? So do me a favor, Rob. Go with the question and ask, how long was Charlie Kirk's scene kept, what do you call it?
Intact.
How long did it say?
How long did they say, I guess intact. How long was Charlie Kirk's crime scene kept intact in order to finish the investigation? Okay.
And why is that
in order to finish the investigation? Okay. Let's see what it says here.
I mean, it reminds me of them hosing off the roof at Butler, Pennsylvania after that happened.
Yeah, you think?
Rob, how long was it? What does it say?
There isn't any record, credible evidence, court filings, or FBI reports.
I don't understand this, guys.
No,
I don't understand this because to me, what? What was that guy's, the something collector, Bone Collector? What was that movie?
With Denzel.
Denzel Washington and I don't know what it was.
So there's a simple question I have. Why didn't the police secure the area and take all the photographs? They have these little number tents. Have you seen them? They say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They put them on the ground.
With
And they take photographs. Did anybody see any of that here?
No, and there was police present.
So there's a simple, without going conspiracy, simple fact-based question. Why didn't law enforcement, campus police, local police, FBI, sequester and photograph everything the way that we see it?
Let me ask you a question. If this happens to me and my wife tells the FBI, I don't want you to investigate it, does the FBI still has a duty to go out there and investigate it?
Well, she just made herself the first suspect.
Yeah, that increases the odds of the investigation.
I mean,
but if family says we're good, we're moved. I'm trying to find out like who has the authority to say, you know how sometimes somebody commits a crime against you, like we're not filing any charges. Can that immediately stop an investigation?
I don't think
Shouldn't the FBI and the police department still, even if
in the case of simple battery or things like this, I can decide. So if you punch me.
Too many questions.
You punch me in a restaurant. There are no cameras in the restaurant, nothing anywhere.
And you know where I'm at.
And there's no witnesses.
It's not obviously private conversation, but
and guess what? The more and more I think about that, the more and more yours is making sense. And so, Pat, my cousin Mike's wife Nina just messaged me. Her kids were at the Saugus school shooting. They closed the whole school down for 5 days. 5 days, nobody went to the
closed, and was anybody killed?
Saugus, yeah.
How many?
He started shooting. I don't remember how many people, but
5 days.
5 days, the school was shut down.
And for Charlie Kirk to be assassinated.
Days after it was construction. Days after they were already digging up the floor.
So by the way, if anybody is sitting here and you're like, you guys are going down the rabbit hole, I can't believe you're doing this. Do you know what you're doing? You're giving credibility to everybody that's going down the rabbit hole by simply doing what you just did. So you got other instances. You want to stay there for 4 or 5 weeks, sometimes 2 months. At one case, house, no one goes in it for nearly 8 months. And you're telling me for this one, nobody wants to come and investigate to see what happened there? You're doing this to yourself.
Yep.
You're doing this to yourself. By the way,
hey, Rob, pull this. Just search for murder scene investigation.
Pat, three killed in Saugus, 3
Let's look at the yellow tape.
He killed 3 people.
Go images.
Quick question, though. So
take a look right here. You see this? That's it. This is FBI taping it off. Everything would get tagged, Pat. And look at all the pictures they would take here. How many items they have there. They have, this isn't Charlie Kirk, but in this FBI investigation,
everything, look at there's a phone.
There are 75 points that are being photographed.
Just from what we see. Just from what we see. And they just walked away from it. That's gross negligence or incompetence. Like what?
Look
you
at
guys
that.
are being negligent.
I was just about to say that. I think Hamlin's razor, I mean, who made that the universal principle? Like, I almost think it could be the opposite of that sometimes. Don't attribute to stupidity what could be attributed to malice. I mean,
no, I think Hamlin's razor is necessary. It's what makes America so great. Justice, right? Innocent till proven guilty. Okay? Yes, trust, but verify. So this is the part where I have questions. By the way, we're not even professionals. We don't do this for a living. We're just asking basic questions that you don't have the answers for. And in any case, if you come to me and you say, Dad, I want this. No. Well, you did it for my brother. And you're like, oh, shit. Okay. So guess what? The natural reaction is to do what? To get a comp. My offer is $800,000. This is a $1.1 million house. No, it's an $800,000 house. Why? Because a house that was built after yours in better condition with recent upgrades, with 1 additional bedroom and a swimming pool, and 0.1 acre bigger than yours sold for $798,000, and I'm giving you $800,000. And that happened 3 months ago. I'm using the comp.
Yes.
So to me, the comp on this is if you've spent weeks at a different place, and this is the biggest story, the biggest assassination we've had in America the last 60 years, and you move this quickly, I don't know. I don't. To me, the biggest thing is this, by the way. Okay, to me, the biggest thing is when the conversations comes about, well, it's Israel. Nope, I'm not putting it there. To me, the conversation, well, they had a meeting because of this. Okay, Bill Ackman shows the text. To me, the conversation is, you know, okay, you want to debunk those or whatever? Fine. To me, but then if you're hearing conversations about, no, man, why don't you guys want to ask more questions to see what happened? Guess what? You give credibility. That's the area where you're like, there's a point there. You know, there's a point of what's going on here. You want me to sit on the sidelines and think that's it? No, your comp sucks. You're losing. By the way, again, this goes back to the Epstein situation, where you ask, again, too suspicious that all of these things are going on. Who are you protecting? Who are you hiding? Who are you defending? Who are you worried about? Of course, we heard the one story that the guy comes out and says, Bill Clinton, yes, but Trump, no, right? What was that one?
The DOJ for James O'Keefe for Project Veritas.
O'Keefe. Yeah, and so, okay. No, he didn't do anything for us. Yeah, he actually did for you, right? So we learned. But you make people be skeptical. So to me, yeah, the construction of Utah Valley University campus site where Charlie Kirk was assassinated involves removing the bloodstains, grass, and replacing it with bricks, creating a makeshift memorial area where people can leave mementos. There are no confirmed detail on additional permanent structures beyond this modification. What type of construction is being done at the campus?
Bro.
And you do it that quickly?
No.
They say the scene was held for 8 to 14 days before releasing it.
Yeah.
That's according to Grok.
Guess what?
Yeah.
That's not what I saw where students were recording going, look, they're already digging it up. I'm just curious, too, from our audience, that poll that you ran, what's the percentage of them not being convinced about the official story? Do we have the... I'm curious to where...
Like 82 to 18 last time I saw.
82% are like, no,
That's nearly 8,000 votes.
That's not believing it. And good for you guys.
Yeah.
You have to question for just this guy's, just for his for Charlie, bro, for his soul, like, because his friends aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Like, where is the whole? Everybody's moved on. They're on podcasts, smiling, and yo, your boy, your husband, your guy that was running a $500 million company is gone. And y'all are just like, yeah, we're gonna just release old footage of him. We have tons. They used the word excited and smiled. I know everybody grieves in their own way, but guys, for his sake, take a time out with the future of TPUSA and find out what the hell's going on. Ask about that. George Zinn, I don't know where he is. I don't know where the child pedophilia on his phone is. There needs to be. I hope they're doing it, guys, because you know what's gonna happen.
What is Tucker questioning?
I don't even. Have you guys even heard what Tucker had to say?
No, but
I haven't even.
We've seen cases like this where, you know, the district attorney is downtown and all these people show up and they're holding little pieces of paper and they're usually quiet, like a vigil, and they say answers for Ashley, right?
Yes.
And they have a picture of her and they're saying, you know, holding it up like this. You've seen it, Pat, where they're all sitting there, you know, and then they'll ambush the district attorney when he's walking out one day. We need answers for Ashley. What other investigation are you? We need answers. Where is everybody looking? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm so disappointed in them.
What?
And the only thing Tucker did, because I haven't seen anything, because Tucker's been doing segments and guests and the 9/11 stuff, which was fantastic. The only thing that he did was the memorial. Which, another question: why weren't Charlie's parents at the memorial? I'm very curious. If anybody knows. I get it. It's a tragic. Your son was assassinated. This is a big event. The president of the United States is there. Why weren't the parents there? I'm very, very curious as to that. I'm very, very curious because you would think the parents would be at something like that monumental. That's something that big.
Have they spoken out? Have they said anything, Rob? Have they come out and said anything? Charlie Kirk's parents?
I have not seen anything.
The only thing, and I'm sorry, going back to my point, Tucker. The only thing Tucker did was speak at the memorial, and he said Jesus was speaking the truth, and he was murdered. Same thing that happened. That was a quick speech to the point, and he left, and that was it.
But is he speculating and asking any questions?
I haven't heard anything.
He is heavily supportive of what's going on with Turning Point USA. heavily.
Hmm.
He's asking, whatever you guys need from me, I'm here for you.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Do you trust Tucker?
I trust Tucker.
So why is Tucker so supportive of Turning Point USA? You think he would?
I think
if he had some questions.
Well, I think immediately when it happened, he donated
$1 million.
$1 million. That's.
But no, Tucker just a couple days ago on the Turning Point USA podcast says, whatever you guys need from me, I'm here for you guys. That's what he said immediately. And he is a guy that you would have seen in a situation like this questioning if he felt something he didn't trust.
And he's not.
He's not. He's just saying, hey, this is what's going on. I lost a friend. And he's moving with it. So this is what I'm about. I want to see what everybody else is saying because I want to see what's going on here. Mm-hmm. I want to see everything. If you can go through this season and just kind of hear some of the stuff out and not be controlled by the mob and jump to conclusion, you'll be ahead of the game. Naturally, you're going to want to gravitate towards somebody. Naturally, you're going to want to gravitate towards what you're thinking happened. But reason is being willing to hear opposing arguments that contradicts your own argument, if your ego will permit to do that. And we're willing to do that. And we're willing to do that. This was a very special guy. Charlie is a very, very special guy, and he will not be replaced. There's not going to be a guy that's going to come and replace Charlie Kirk tomorrow. There's a bunch of guys that are going out there saying, hey, we're continuing what Charlie did. Like, yeah. Glad you're inspired. He's a good guy to replicate and duplicate, but he was a one of one, and may his soul rest in peace, as I'm certain it will. Gang, I got a flight to catch. We enjoyed the podcast. Brandon, good job. If
Thanks
you
for
got
having
any
me.
Monects you want to send to Brandon, that is Brandon's QR code right there with a beautiful red tie.
Mm-hmm.
If you have anything you want to share with them, send him a Monect.
What about the forewoman for Tom, if she's out there?
Wow, no, she's already Monected.
She Monected,
She's
Tom?
already Monected. She's like, you know.
4 women? What am I, Mormon now?
The foreman.
Okay, all right, gang, do your thing.
that.
Rob, are we back on Friday?
Friday, yes, sir.
Okay, we'll be back on Friday. God bless everybody. Take care. Bye-bye, bye-bye.